reply. Walls too close, the world too wide. A ghost unseen, passing time. She wore her fears like second skin. Spoke to shadows, breathed them in. Dreamed of voices calling home. Somewhere she was not alone. She crossed the line from dark to seen. A spark against the dark inside. From the silence, a signal rose through the static. A thousand souls, we are the lost, the strange, the seen, united by the screen between. Raise your voice, you're not alone in these pixels. We found a home from broken nights to blazing dawns. Together we carry on. Days turned years and coated skies. 10 winters passed before her eyes. Every stream a thread of trust, built from hope and honest dust. Names became more than a chat. Hearts behind each avatar shared their scars, their wins, their pain. Locked in just to feel okay. She learned that strength is letting show the cracks where hidden lights can glow. From the silence, a signal rose through the static. A thousand souls, we are the lost, the strange, the seen, united by the screen between. Raise your voice, you're not alone in these pixels. We found a home from broken nights to blazing dawns. Together we carry on. To the outcasts, the quiet minds. To the ones who never fit the lines. You are more than what they said, more than voices in your head. Hand in hand across the void, every tear and laugh deployed. In worlds we play, in truths we share. We heal each other everywhere. No throne of gold, no crown of flame, just human hearts behind the names. Not heroes born of flawless light, but those who stayed through every night. From the silence, a signal rose. Now a storm of beating souls. We are the lost, the strange, the seen, no longer trapped in between. Raise your voice, let it be known. Every screen's a stepping stone through boss fights, grief and healing scars. We shine like constellation stars. So if you're lonely, weird, unheard, if the world feels sharp, absurd, step through the dark. Take one small stand, you might just build a promised land. In the echo of shared dreams, we are more than we have been.
Hello, welcome in. Hey Mazer, hey Alucard, hey Tiva, hey Clumsy, hey Tangel, hey Grim, hey Azipu, hey Azakel, welcome in. I had no idea. Hey Valkyria, that this story that I'm gonna tell you guys today was as spicy as it is. You guys are, yeah, it's gonna get spicy. There are a lot of details that these crazy exes go into with their allegations regarding Turkey Tom. If you guys don't know who he is, he has been around YouTube for a while doing commentary, which he does extremely well. He's very good at what he does. He tells the story beautifully. He does it in video form. I don't know if he does live streams as well, but yeah, as soon as something's out, he talks about it. You know a little more than, yeah. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna go into who he is, but from my perspective, he does a good job at what he does. He seems to be very balanced in terms of how he handles tough situations and tough topics sometimes. So yeah, I personally, by watching his content, have never felt like, ooh, this guy is weird, right? Obviously, you know, when it comes to relationships and there's gonna be a lot of bedroom talk, obviously things can get a little personal, a little... And of course, everyone can be a little freaky in the bedroom, and those details are not always going to come out! Poor Turkey Tom did have a lot of his private details come out in terms of what he likes, what he doesn't like. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So basically what happened, let me show you guys what happened. Basically, this girl showed up on the 14th of January, so this year, not that long ago. She went to Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms is a forum where people post about lol cows and make all kinds of different accusations and a lot of different content that comes out that people then, YouTubers like, for example, Turkey Tom, will go to for information, for what the latest news on the crazies, right? Hello, hey Victor, welcome in. So let me show you guys what we're talking about here. Sacramento is their username, and they came to Kiwi Farms. Let me just cross my arms like this. It is a cesspool. It can also be very informative in the sense that, you know, there's so many crazy things out there that YouTubers obviously can find a lot of really good, interesting content that people enjoy watching. This specifically, unfortunately, Kiwi Farms does not want to work for me for the last 4 hours. So, but at least I was able to capture the start of all of this, which is this Sacramento person. Literally the first day that they joined, they post on the forum saying, "Hi, Kiwi people. I dated Tom for a few months after meeting him on Tinder. I'm not super into internet stuff and had no idea what Kiwi Farms was. But this page was always his #1 search Safari thing that pops up on iPhone when he went to Google something." So yeah, as we know, he does use Kiwi Farms for a lot of his content. Would you ever consider having like a chibi derpy looking avatar? Oh, I have a few. I have a few of those. So she keeps saying, when I asked about this website, he got super defensive and weird about it, so I obviously looked into it and found all this crazy shit. Like him admitting to being bisexual. Apparently she didn't know. Messaged the owner of this website, Joshua Moon, to get the code to post here. Basically, I started to get suspicious about all the e-girls he's following interacted with, and he started raging at me. He also lied to me at first about the fact that he does YouTube. He did some crazy shit like kicked holes in a wall at the house he was renting because some e-girl who copies Belle Delphine got hacked, and the hacker was blackmailing him with his dick pics. We will get into specific things that she is saying. He continued to talk with her after the fact. I have screenshots confirming all of this, attached a couple, but I think I have more. This guy is a real freak and likes to record sexual encounters without asking first during almost every single time. Which makes you wonder, after the first time you find out that someone's recording, or he's recording her sexual encounters, how does this keep happening and you keep being okay with it? Like, at some point you had like sex like 10 times, you know, and he records every single time, like she says. At what point do you say, wait a minute? No, I know, we're gonna get that, Richie. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get through all of it today. We're gonna go through the interview with the 2 girls, because at this point there's going to be 2. And then we're at a good time here to be doing this video because he has since then also reacted. And of course, as he is Turkey Tom, he came with the receipts. Like, what else would you expect him to do? He's literally maybe one of the worst people to be trying to expose and out on the internet. Dude, like, come on. Of course he came with the receipts. He's been doing this for a while. Allegations, oh, I understand, Richie. I totally get it. I totally get it. So, what I'm saying is I'm going to break down some of the things that these girls are saying before we get to his reaction, because a lot of the things they don't realize, it makes them look really bad. And it just doesn't make any sense. They keep saying he does all these things, and then it doesn't. Why would they continue to be with someone who's that bad? There's something off there, right? Regardless, I do want to mention one extremely important thing. I think I will remind you guys several times throughout this live stream, is specifically the fact that we're talking about a 23-year-old man, and they are all around the same age, by the way. So they are still insanely young when it comes to like relationships and how to communicate regarding sex and all that stuff. So I really want you guys to keep that in mind. They are very young. A lot of these are relationships from like a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when they were like in their really early 20s. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. A lot of people at that age do not know how to communicate, all right? And a lot of these things that we're going to hear coming from these two girls have to do with lack of communication. And that comes from both sides. It's very clear that he had a lack of communication. They had a lack of communication. Anyway, just giving you guys that reminder, they are very young. So let's see. She keeps on saying, I know for a fact he's done this to at least one other girl, serial gooner, and has flown out several e-girls to sleep with. He told me he has a file on his computer called Just In Case. That's basically voice memos or calls from exes to blackmail them in case they ever say something about him. I thought I would get the message out and confirm y'all's suspicions. Also, if this gets out, to warn other young women in the Texas area about this dude. You lack communication? I believe that. Anyway, so there's a lot of things to go through here. Specifically, this just in case folder that he apparently has in his computer is going to be mentioned a lot. And almost the only thing that the girls can really say about not leaving the relationship, well, with all these red flags, a lot of it is about this folder. So they basically they say that they might not have left him sooner because they were scared of this folder coming out or whatever, which is, you know, there's a lot of comments on that as well. Anyway, first off, let's get into, so after obviously Sacramento came out and shared all these details, she was also willing to share much more. As you saw, she has like screenshots of a bunch of things. So obviously everybody jumped on it. For reference, guys, the Turkey Tom Kiwi thread was at 64 pages, and he's had probably years of doing YouTube, right? And it jumped to, I think, 700 now. So now the Turkey Tom thread about him, where it introduces him as a person on the internet, as personality on the internet, now has 700 pages on that thread. When earlier this year, in January 14th, it had 64. So like you can imagine how much conversation this ignited. All right, so let's get into specifically the video with the interview. We're gonna try to get through it a little quicker because it is a 2-hour video. We're going to be listening to it on 1.5, which honestly is not too bad because you can still, these people don't talk too quickly, so it's usually pretty okay. Let me get my doc. All right, here we go. Don't forget to like the stream, guys.
Hello, everybody. I'm having a conversation today with Sacramento, who has been posting on.
By the way, we have a full week ahead of us of true crime. This is sort of my beginning of the true crime. I know it's not like true crime for a lot of people. Maybe you guys wouldn't see it that way, but I thought it was a good like transition between the drama and the true crime because it kind of touches both sides of it, you know? So here we go.
On the Kiwi Farms about Turkey Tom.
So this is, by the way, the big guy of Kiwi Farms, I think the owner of Kiwi Farms, that did an interview with these two girls that showed up, Sacramento, and a friend called Katie. Yeah, Noel, aka Jason something.
And Katie, who is her friend, who also has known Turkey Tom and is also posting on the forum. So just to get right into it, we're going to talk to Katie first, and I'm just going to ask that she tell whatever she wants to say from when she met Tom all the way up to when they stopped knowing each other. And then we'll hear from Sacramento. Okay? So, Katie, hello.
Hi. Hello. Can you hear me?
Or- yes, I think everything's fine. I already messed up my audio, but I think it should be fine. Okay, so how'd you meet Turkey Tom?
I met him on Instagram in like late 2023. He started liking my stories, and then he followed me on Instagram. And then I think he DM'd me first and just like swiped up on one of my stories and was like, pretty. And I was like, oh my God, Turkey Tom. This is crazy.
So she instantly knew who he was. Hey, Miguel.
And then we just like started talking, like flirting back and forth. And then quickly he was like, wanted to fly me out. And then so am I going too fast? Or like I feel
No,
like
no, you're fine. But
okay.
if I want to interrupt, I'll just ask. Like for instance, how long
Yeah.
was it between he swiped on Instagram to hey, I'm gonna pay to fly you out to wherever?
I met him like probably December of 2023, and then by January 2024, I was flown out. So like a month, not even.
Okay. And would you say did it feel serious? Did it feel like just like a hookup or?
I mean, I'm not dumb, so you can never really tell what's like with like an internet personality or something if they're like trying to date you or whatever. And so I like went there with like no intentions of like thinking that he was gonna like try to marry me or anything like that. But he was like very like not I hate the term like love bomb, but he's like love bomb for sure, was like hella affectionate, but also like beating me, but during sex. But otherwise with like
Okay, so this is where she first mentions the beating. There's going to be a lot more. They don't get too graphic, by the way, so don't worry about that. But they do get into how violent he was.
like sit there and like compliment me and like be affectionate and like took me to like shoot guns and ice skating and stuff. And so I couldn't really tell if there was something from it, but I could tell he like
Also, this is not what she describes as love bombing is not love bombing. The beginning of the relationship, obviously, especially being Turkey Tom, he probably has a good amount of money. He's the one always paying for the flights back and forth for all these girls. So like, he's the guy who wants to like, show the girl a good time and whatever. So the compliments and the dates are not necessarily what I would call love bombing. Love bombing would entail a lot more than that.
me more than just like a hit and quit, because then I did end up seeing him again.
Okay, so in that month, when you say love bombing, was it like I love you, or was it like oh you're so pretty and just like giving lots of compliments?
After I saw him the first time, after that he started being like, I love you, I like you're so awesome, like other girls aren't like you, like this is perfect, oh my God.
Okay, so
But like but before meeting him he would just like
Again, guys, this was 2 years ago. He was what, 20, 21? Come on now. Come on now.
compliment me a lot and stuff.
and so you came over. How long did you stay?
About I'd say like 5-ish, like 5 or 6 days.
Okay, it's a pretty good trip. And do you mind telling me where you're from and where his place is? Like what state?
So at the time I was living in San Francisco, California. So
Okay.
I was flying literally across the country to Portland, Maine. And so it'd be
Okay.
like literally an entire day of flying.
Yeah, I imagine. So it's probably like a what 10-hour trip in total.
At least, yeah, for sure.
Okay. So then after 5 days, I guess you flew back, and did you guys stay in contact?
Yeah, after the first time I flew back, we stayed in contact and he was like calling me a lot. And then that's when I got the 2 videos of him saying night rape and talking about like holding me down and the whole Game of Thrones elf thing. And
Okay, that's a bit much. Hold up.
sorry.
How long? Sorry, how long ago was this? And how old were you two when this happened?
So I'm 23 now, so I was like 21. I think like 21 at that time, or about to be.
And he was
He's
Same
my
age?
age also, yeah, he's like 21.
Okay. Cool. So then you guys were apart, and these were when you got the voicemails. In particular, one that you mentioned. Was that like? Let me rephrase that. Did it feel like it was a exclusive thing after you went back to San Francisco? Did it feel like this is a relationship and we're not seeing other people now?
Not fully that it was a relationship, but definitely, the term situationship, something like that, where like it did seem like we were exclusive, especially with the way he would like talk, like
Okay.
at that point. And so I wouldn't say, because that's what like I wouldn't say we ever dated. We were more just like a fling, because he never like asked me to be his girlfriend straight out, and then but like he also never like but he would tell me he wasn't having sex with other girls and stuff.
Okay. So it was during this break where you were receiving like voice messages from him. And I remember the one that really stuck out is he said, it's very awkward. I'm gonna try to give him the benefit of a doubt. And I'm wondering if you can fill this in for me because it was speculated. He said something like, there's nothing better than night rape. And that's what it really sounds like. Like he really puts emphasis on the P in night rape.
Okay, listen. So there's a mention of the R word. But this ties into his kinks. So he basically is, and we'll see a lot of evidence throughout the video. He basically likes he's full into the dom sub roles in the bedroom, right? So that's what he likes. He doesn't seem to enjoy anything else. And that is fully what he's into. And that's how we're going to get into the beating and the violence while having sex. There's also a very clear mention of it being very exclusive to the sex situation. So it is a bedroom thing. So keep that in mind. That's why the R word gets used. I feel like it's not that big of a deal at this point. I think, you know, it was used in private regarding their sex life. So yeah, let's not go too crazy about using the R word.
But it was explained to me that there is a DLC for Elden Rings called Night Rain.
Yeah,
and
we're
he might
not-
be referring to that. Would you know
No,
if there's any?
Night Rain for us to say it gave you a bruise and blah blah blah, and like he would like be like, ew, I don't even want to say these types of words. It's so like
So age play, right? Listen, it's an interesting topic, specifically when it comes to obviously the anime community as well, because a lot of anime portray girls being very childlike looking, right? Even when they are supposedly 100 years old because they're some kind of vampire. So it's a very sensitive topic to discuss with the community as well, being part of the anime VTuber community. But like, so I don't know if it goes into age play when it comes to Turkey Tom. They do mention that several times. I do think that a lot of people have a preference to body types, and some body types, like apparently these girls are very skinny and have no boobs or barely any. And so that is apparently the body type that he was into, and people tie that into something suspicious, like him being into age play. But I don't, there's no evidence of that. We're also going to hear his side eventually, of course, but like, yeah, there's a lot of like throwing terms out there that sound very suspicious and sound very wrong, but then there's nothing much to it, you know?
gross to say, but he would just, you know, like say like weird sexual things and like throughout
Did
the
it
whole
feel-
time he was waiting to like or, like before I went back.
Did it feel like the size difference was like a really big thing to him? Like he
Yes.
was really into it?
Yes.
So there's also mention of the size difference being a big thing for him. I would say that still ties into the sub-dom kink that he has, because yeah, as a dom, you want to feel more, you know, you want to feel like you're overpowering the other person. So the size difference does have some weight there. And also, he doesn't seem to be super tall guy, so I think Turkey Tom is about 5'8". So, you know, the girls would probably have to be smaller and skinnier for him to feel that power over them, right?
For both of you?
Yes.
How tall is he?
5'8".
I was gonna
5'8"?
say like I don't know, like 5'10" at most.
Okay. How tall are you guys?
Actually, wait. No, he's dead ass like 5'8". Yeah, you're right. Because when I met him, I wore platforms and I was his height.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask, are you guys like 5 foot even or something?
I'm 5'3".
Okay.
I'm like 5'5", but I'm very petite built, I guess.
So he would just mention that a lot, that you guys were like very petite and
Yes.
small.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did he ever?
So he would apparently compliment them all the time about how small they were, how skinny they were, how beautiful they were. But again, that might very well be because he likes skinny girls. So
Ask you to wear specific things?
Not like per se, but he definitely, Sacramento can attest to this too, would like kind of try to push stuff onto you. Like he would buy like specific gifts, so like you would wear it because it's like something he bought you, and it's a gift. But it's not like he would be like, put this on. But he would buy like weird like Hello Kitty attire, and like would ask like if we were into like Hello Kitty or dolls and stuff like that.
So one of their big, like, they want to push this narrative of the age play, largely based on the fact that he would give them toys or like plushies or infantile sort of brands like Hello Kitty pajamas or something like that, right? So I don't quite see much to that either, because a lot of girls do like that. A lot of girls do like Hello Kitty stuff. A lot of girls will keep wearing that stuff until they're into the 70s. So like I don't see any merit to that at all whatsoever. And him being, I don't know how many girlfriends he had at this point, but again, he's young. He might not give the best gifts to girls that he just met. There's so many things that could be going on here. That doesn't necessarily mean that he wants them to dress up like little girls. I mean, come on now.
So I
Dolls.
think more,
Monster
yes,
High.
Monster High.
Really? Oh
Yes,
man.
it's because of Kai, literally.
Okay, so
But-
he was trying to find like another like who was into I guess age play. I mean, I don't want to like just jump to that and say like, oh, he's definitely.
So yeah, he throws out the age play based off of this information that we just got. Like it's a little bit too quickly, you know. I also feel like I'm not aware of the full conflict between them, but I think there might be some tension here between this guy Noel named Jason and of course Turkey Tom. I think they have some beef. I'm not sure, but I heard that they have some beef. So a lot of this feels like a narrative being pushed on his side. I'll give him some credit throughout the interviews. He does like try to give him the benefit of doubt here and there, but at the same time, it's very clear to me also that he is pushing a narrative, and he is sort of like trying to ask questions in a way to confirm what he thinks and what he wants everyone else to think. So
Looking
keep
for
that
age
in
play, but,
mind.
like, Monster
No,
High is
definitely.
I don't want to like say like put the words out like that, but also at the same time, I mean, if you're looking for a bitch who's into dolls and Hello Kitty and Velcro children's shoes, then like
Yeah, that's like in the kids aisle at Walmart. This is the Monster
Yeah,
High
like-
stuff.
yeah.
Okay. So he would. I mean, that's what I was asking for. Like, did he give you clothes that was like this is like saccharine light pastels and stuff?
Yes, for my birthday gift, he bought me a whole bunch of Hello Kitty type stuff. Like in some of the pictures of the age player lolicon girl, Ellie, she's wearing these Hello Kitty pajamas, and he bought me like those exact same type of pajamas and other like stuffed animal stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. So since Katie was vaguely aware of, I guess not even vaguely, like you knew who he was, but you say that you didn't know him at all, right? And I'll switch back, but I have a quick question. Did that seem out of place? Like you don't know this guy and he's buying like Hello Kitty, Monster High stuff? Like did that seem like
No.
weird or?
I wanted to clarify that. I figured out who he was like very quickly. So yeah, I knew about his online presence like pretty much as soon as we met till the end of our relationship. But I wasn't like super into YouTube world or whatever.
So even though Katie, when he met, it was through Instagram, so Katie knew exactly who he was from the beginning. Sacramento sort of alludes to him being a little bit secretive about being a YouTuber, and she also presents this as being suspicious. Although, in my mind, if you are an internet personality, and you make a lot of money through YouTube, and there's so much content about you out on the internet, I kind of understand going into a new relationship not saying all that and not really sharing who you are entirely. Like apparently he's presented himself as like a video editor, or like it's not entirely wrong, not entirely a lie. So I get it. Like it's a lot on the other person. It's a lot of information that you want to give out yourself as the relationship goes through, right? You don't want it's very unfair balance where you go into a relationship having an online personality. This person can just look all kinds of things up about you, while the other person gets to stay at their own pace, tell them everything about them. So it's like it's very unbalanced. So I understand going into a new relationship that you would keep a lot of that to yourself, like specifically right away. So I don't think that's suspicious necessarily.
So like I knew that he had a YouTube channel, but I wasn't like super into it.
But did you feel like the gifts, like clothing and toys and stuff, were weird or? Did it feel...
Yes.
Okay, it did.
Yes.
Like all of it, like the clothes.
I have had. I'm not gonna tell you my age, but like I've had some serious relationships in the past. I've had partners in the past that a lot of guys are not very good at gifting. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you. A lot of guys do not put in a lot of effort. Effort is not the word, but a lot of guys are not good at gifts. Okay, a lot of guys are not good at gifts, and this is just a very known thing. It's not just Turkey Tom. All right, if he messed up on knowing exactly what the girl was into, that's very a common thing. Okay.
Too, it was like, this is weird.
Yes, because I never expressed any like interest in like, oh, I love Hello Kitty and I want more Hello Kitty stuff. Like I don't know.
Okay, last question, then I'll switch back to the timeline. But did you?
Monster Dojo, we are going into all of that during this live stream. So I have everything ready for you guys to have this interview with the two girls and then his reaction as well. So we're just going through the timeline that had happened. Yeah.
Do you ever like deliberately express an interest, like, oh, I would like this as a gift, and then just not get it because it didn't match like what we know now in terms of what his interests are? Okay.
All right, so now we're going into when Katie first visits him, which happens to be right after a furry convention he went to, and apparently he might have had ringworm, which I didn't even know what that was, so I had to search it up. Apparently it's an infectious fungal situation. But yeah, it starts getting real interesting
Like,
now.
okay.
Because he's going. Is that where he met Madeline or Meowdeline?
Maybe I know he like posted a video, I think on like Tom IRL or something.
My ex would ask what I wanted, and when I didn't know, he would get me Amazon cards. I was fine with it. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a whole process to get to know someone in order to understand what the person likes and doesn't. And even then, a lot of people are just not good at gifting, so they'll ask you directly, or they won't, and just try something out, you know?
Of him at that furry convention.
Of him going to, and he asked you to fly back for the furry convention?
No, right after. He was like,
Okay.
I'm gonna go to this furry convention and then you should come see me.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So, before I ask about that visit, anything else from the Gap that is interesting worth touching on? Did he say anything
I
weird?
mean, I kind of went over most of it of him just being like overall like pushy and weird and like age baity almost with the things he would say.
Okay. And then you fly back, and how did that go? How long did you stay?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
Wow. Okay. So was that also 5 days?
No, I think like 5 days total. Like of me, like I flew in and then like I stayed with him for real 3 days, and I
Okay, this was the second time that she visits Turkey Tom, and it happened to be after a furry convention.
flew back on the 5th day.
You flew back
So I only-
early?
Yeah. He actually, well, okay, when he flies girls out, he doesn't buy them a flight home. He flies you out, and then he's like, I'll buy your flight home when you get here.
Okay.
That's weird.
Which already, when I was like that's why all my friends thought I was a victim from the jump. Is like he acted really weird and also would do things like that. And so all my like normal friends were like, "This is weird. Like you're a victim right now, and you're just not realizing." And
Yeah,
so that's
I
like
would
how I
say-
got all those videos.
Okay, because you were on edge. You had been warned that there might be something weird going on.
Yeah, and my friend was spending the night with me and was listening to the conversation because he would like beg to call me like every night. And so I was like, "Fine, I'll answer." And she was listening, and she was like, "What the fuck is this man saying to you?"
Okay, so what was so terrible about the second visit?
Okay, so fun. This is kind of gonna sound like it's like a little bit of a ramble in a sense because it's like the dream shit, like the dream George not found drama was happening at the time with this girl named Katie, and only reason I know about it is because I was at his house and he was streaming literally for 2 days straight, just sitting in his room, making me sit in the corner silently while he just streamed all day talking about how this bitch was like a liar and a stupid whore and like her like consent isn't real and like insane.
So listen, here the first thing that she says goes wrong. Oh my god! It's heavy on his back and he's a cow on fire. Holy crap, do I still have the thing? I haven't had to click this in a long time. Let me see if it still works. Let me see. I don't think it works. Ah! Hemi, thank you so much. Holy crap! That is like the biggest, the highest tier of them all. Thank you so much. I will revive. Actually, I think I could do that right now. Welcome back. It's so good to see you. I think I can revive your cow straight away. Look at this. Bam! There you are. My little Hulk cow. Thank you, Hemi. Welcome back.
It's just like insanity.
Holy crap. What a supporter.
In the way, like, I don't even know anything about that situation, so like I don't know if there was like actual drama there. But just listening to how he was talking about like a girl getting molested, I was like, oh my god, no wonder.
Okay, so yeah, that distracted me. So the thing that she has bad to say about her second visit to Turkey Tom is basically he got really busy like right away. He got really busy with some gossip and stuff that was happening on the internet, some drama on the internet, so he had to go cover it because he's Turkey Tom. And he made her sit in the corner while he streamed. Maybe the door was in the frame and he didn't want her to go like show up on camera, which is absolutely understandable. Some people want to remain private. It's not the weirdest thing. But basically, she presents it as her being stuck or trapped in the corner of the room. So obviously, it's the way that this is presented is very intentional, right? I as a streamer and a content creator, I could understand, like, imagine I want you to be nearby while I stream, but yeah, you gotta stay there for the remainder of the stream. Otherwise, I don't want you to show up on camera. That's not a big deal. It's not as crazy as they make it sound. But no, I mean, potentially, right? I don't know. I wasn't in the room, obviously. But they make it sound very suspicious when it doesn't necessarily feel like it is.
Like this man is insane. Like, and I literally ended up like not like we hung out a lot for like the first day, and then he was like streaming a lot, and then I literally was like nonverbal. Even when he wasn't streaming, we like were barely talking. He told me I was a second body, and then the first time I went and saw him, he told me I was the second girl he had sex with.
When she says she was his second body, for you millennials out there, that means that he only had sex with another person before her. No. And
then the second time I went and saw him, he made me watch the show You, and about like the crazy stalker or whatever, and from Netflix.
It was a secret.
And he was like, "Oh, this girl's such a whore. Like, I've only had sex with 4 people." And I was like, 4 people? You told me you weren't fucking nobody else, and you had sex with I was your second. What? I was like, huh? And so that was like kind of like one of the things where I was like, okay, I'm like, I mean, I wasn't too hung up about that because like I take everything with a grain of salt if someone's like a fucking internet personality. Like, I'm not gonna like be too hung up. But I was like, oh, this man's a
grain
whore.
of salt.
And also, this
doesn't
man's
sound
insane
like
he's
it.
probably beating all these women.
Okay,
like,
so to rewind.
Okay, this guy's so she's in the corner, right? She's trapped in a corner with a streamer that's like streaming for days on end, right? And she's in a corner, and he's saying all these kind of things about girls, and saying that he's fucked a bunch of them, and she has red flags all over the place, and she's like, oh, what did I get myself into? This guy is a freak. He's absolutely crazy, but she stays there. She just stays there. And they still have sex afterwards. What? If you had all these thoughts about him, why did you stick around?
You land, you're back in Portland. This is the second time you're meeting him.
Yes.
You land, and he immediately just like Kaya places you, puts you in a corner of his room. Is there like anything that happens between?
We hang out for like a couple hours, and then he's like, "I'm sorry, but there's hot there's hot goss on the market. I gotta stream."
Who was it about
that's his
the
job,
streams?
though.
It was like Minecraft YouTubers, and I guess one of them had just like gotten outed for like touching another girl. And
Okay.
Right, Weaver? Right? That's how I feel too. Like, what, your body count? Like, people you've killed, you know? I think I made a TikTok of this, like, long time ago. That's when I, was first introduced to this term, body count.
And so
I didn't even know.
Matt died too, and it was insane. That was
Okay.
also horrible.
So for literally the entirety of 2 days, did he specifically ask that you do not like roam about the complex? Did he like say you have to be here with me for this time?
Well, like he would be like, "Oh, sit with me," and then I would be trapped in the room because like you can see the door, and he doesn't want people to know there's a
I was trapped in the room.
woman in his house, and
What?
so
What's
he would, and so I would just be like stuck in the corner because I'd be there when it would start, and then he would just be streaming, and then I'm just trapped.
There's
And he
nothing
didn't-
weird about
he didn't
that.
allow you to like have any presence on the stream, so you're just in this room and you can't walk past him because it's
Yeah, well, yeah, if you have a new girlfriend every month, maybe don't show it on stream, you know? I mean, I understand that.
in front of the camera.
No, yeah, no, and like yeah,
That's why I'm a VTuber. I have all these guys just walking around back here, but you guys can't see them. It's perfect. Anyway.
literally no.
That's very bizarre. Like, because it's like you can watch the stream. You could just go out to the other room and watch the stream if he insisted.
Right? Like, and also, like, I don't give a fuck about these Minecraft YouTubers. Why, like,
Yeah.
why me? So
Yeah, that's
it was just,
rude.
like, he was for one even more aggressive the second time I went and saw him, and then he like barely spoke to me and was streaming most of the time. And then when he tried to speak to me, he was just like saying stupid stuff. He like told me about having sex with 2 other girls and just was just like insufferable. So I was having a horrible time. And I also was convinced he had ringworm before he even had it because I'm looking at his body and I see like marks and I'm like, this looks like ringworm. I'm not like this. I don't want to touch this man. This looks like ringworm. And
Okay.
so it was here. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was going to ask, is this the time that he got the fungal infection?
Yes.
Because this was immediately after the furry convention, right?
Yes. And he told me that he thinks he got it from the gym, but he like would shower after going to the gym from like at least when I was there. And so like maybe he was doing that to keep up appearances.
So
But,
she
like,
got a ringworm.
I feel like you're
Get
like,
over
it-
it.
Violent, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what that was. I don't think I've ever had it, but whatever, man. An infection happens to everybody.
And that's kind of like when things really started piecing together to me that I was like, wait, I think I am a victim right now. Like something's not right here.
Okay, so then she starts talking about how Tom is violent.
And that's when I started like voicing my concern more to him too. It like in the bedroom and being like, can you not do that? And he kind of would just like take everything with a grain of salt.
So the first time that you flew up, there was none of
See, she said, can you not do that? And he took everything with a grain of salt. Like, both Katie and Sacramento throughout this interview are not very clear about how they expressed that they didn't want certain things in the bedroom. there was clearly a very huge lack of communication from both ends, all right? And at this point, it's very clear to these girls when they're like 1 month in, 2 months in, like they know that this is what the guy's into. This is how he likes to have sex, you know? If you keep going back, how do you explain that? How do you explain that?
This no issues. It was just like vanilla.
No, he was still like aggressive, but like I was just like, maybe he's just like gooner pilled and like has only seen like BDSM porn, and so he's like thinks that this is normal.
But when you say aggressive, is it just like I don't know, a little bit forceful versus like painful,
No, like still smacking and like still smacking and like causing bleeding and like too rough.
Okay, so here he clarifies, right? He asks, how violent is he? How aggressive is he? Is it just some is it a little rough? And they say no. So he causes bleeding, apparently. He smacks them across the face, apparently. Beats them. The beating word gets used a lot in these circumstances, to the point of bleeding. And from what I understand, this happens later on, so we can get into it later on, but the bleeding is also being referred to as not just like not bleeding and not beating the face until it bleeds, but I think the bleeding is specifically referring to during penetration. So he is rough down there to the point that they bleed. So there's a reference at some point to him wiping his dick off with a towel afterwards, and there being blood on it, and him just dismissing that fact. So I want to make sure that you guys understand it. There are saying that it does go that far, so it's not just like, yeah. Anyway,
because also he like, this is like TMI, but like since he can't come, you like sessions you would be trapped with him for like an hour, and also so like no matter what you're gonna end up like dry at one point, and then he would just like not care and keep going.
Did you ever ask him like, can you get lube or something?
Yes, and like, or literally at one point we even like I made him go and buy some, and he still never used it. He probably used it to goon.
So you literally told him use lube, and he just ignored you and kept plowing away, basically.
Yeah, near or like literally like tried to add spit.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And
so that's what I mean when I say that he kept going. And he didn't have a regard for their pleasure, clearly, because that's also part of what he's into. So even if it was dry, he would just keep going, which I'm guessing at some point is going to hurt him too, right?
Okay, and then he would notice the blood? Like, there's no way you don't notice the blood.
I mean, literally, he would like wipe his like dick off on a rag, and it would be like tinged red, and he never even like batted an eye or said anything.
He never even mentioned it. Like, oh look, there's blood in this.
No.
Okay. Did you ever see him use cocaine?
I didn't, but he told me that he used to do a lot of coke, and like before I went to fly out to see him the first time, he like texted me one day, and he was like, "Sorry, I just woke up. Like, I drank a lot and like did a lot of coke last night." And he blocked me on Instagram, but I might be able to see the message at some point. But he said that.
As someone who's from the commentary community, Tom's community, going back to the beta days, aka 2016, I'm taking Tom's response with a grain of salt just because of the many different things from the past involving him. So we do get introduced throughout this story to several of his girlfriends. And there's actually a mention of a Kai throughout this story, and this was apparently the person that he loved the most that he lost at some point, and apparently he compares all the girls after Kai with Kai. So she does get mentioned a lot. And what's interesting about this is that Kai, at some point during all this drama, also comes out with a statement, which we will also go over as soon as she gets mentioned more. But yeah, so we do get to see a lot of what he's been through, and the girlfriends he's had throughout the time. Yeah.
And then when I was at his house, he was talking about abusing Adderall that he got from Kai from like their past relationship.
So this is where Kai gets mentioned.
So he still had Adderall from Kai?
Yeah, because I guess like he had like because she had like an overstock, I guess, because he had like 3 bottles at least that had her name on it.
Really? And he was doing this while you were there?
Yeah.
Okay. So timeline of this. He comes home from the furry convention. You hang out for a few hours. He gets the call from his Discord that's like, you got work to do. There's some drama. He then puts you in a beanbag and tells you don't speak or move or enter line of sight. You said that you both said that he non-consensually began to record you guys having
Oh, yeah.
sex with.
So this is the big one of the big aspects of their accusations is that he would record the sex sessions without their consent.
Was this both times that you saw him?
Yeah, literally every single time we had sex, he recorded it, and he never asked. Literally, just one time, I like looked back and I was like, "Oh, that's a phone." And then one time, the only time he ever came was this is so funny, but the only time he ever came was we had sex, and then he proceeds to be like, "Wait, I need to come." Gets off me, and then just literally in front, like damn near on top of me, in front of me. I'm like trapped under him still. He starts watching the video he just recorded and jerking it, and I was like, "What the fuck is it happening?" That was like also kind of an awakening. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh."
I had all these awakenings, all these red flags, but I didn't do anything about them. Do they realize how that makes them sound? Like every single encounter, everything that he does is bad. The way that they tell the story, right? But in none of these moments in their relationship did she go, "Oh no, I'm out."
Like these guys.
And if he recorded every single session between them and she was not okay with it, how do you go into another sexual encounter with him knowing that he's gonna film it but still not be okay? It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
A death grip. What is happening?
So this is like the second day of the second meetup. He's like, "This ain't working. I gotta watch my own masterpiece here that I literally just recorded."
Literally had just recorded like moments ago.
Okay.
These are insanely like personal, intimate details about someone, right? All these crazy things that people do in the bedroom. Like there's so many different kinks that people have that are weird and you know, they're so private. This is extremely uncomfortable that it all has to come out, and everybody knows these little things about Turkey Tom now. They're condemning it, but all that I'm hearing, you know, some of them might be concerning, sure. I think the beating and the blood on the penis and all the stuff, it might be a bit of an issue. That has to be maybe addressed, but like these little things about her being in the corner or not being shown on stream or him being rough or whatever it may be, these are all kinks and really private things about people that are easily like put out there and completely misconstrued, right?
Wow. Were you the one that said if you flex in the mirror after sex, I would shoot myself?
No, that was her, but he did that with me too. And also, I noticed when we would have sex, he had a mirror in his room, and it literally
did he literally do the Patrick Bateman thing?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh my god!
Like literally, that's why I call him a Patrick Bateman type gooner. Because for one, he's like psychotic low key, and he dead ass did that shit. And I swear he must like live by how Patrick Bateman lives low key. Because like I watched him do that, and I was like, oh, this isn't normal. Like this something's wrong.
This is not normal. Like this is not normal. What are we supposed to like all like do missionary in the bedroom to be normal? Like what is normal?
So
he likes to look at himself in the mirror while having sex. Big deal, dude. Big deal.
I mean, would you say that he's like actually trying to replicate the scene? Like it's just the exact same thing?
I mean, damn near. Like I don't want to say that he like is literally replicating the scene, but I just like it literally felt like that. I like looked up, saw he was looking in the mirror, just staring at himself, like flexing his muscle.
And this was like not discussed at all. Like there was no two-way conversation about sex or
no, we never had any conversation really about like kinks or like what we were into, like other than like bare minimums of like yeah, I like. We never even had like any bare minimum talk about sex. It was just like, do you want to have sex? Okay.
Okay. And the few times you would say anything about like that's too far, it was just like completely not like, did he react at all? Did he say anything? Was it just like
not really?
ignored?
He'd be like, my bad, maybe like fix how he's acting for like 2 seconds and then do it again.
Okay. Okay, I can't think of anything else. Is there anything else memorable that you remember from the second encounter?
Not much. He was texting Meowdalin during when I met during the second meeting. I also noticed that when we were watching You, I like people.
And people may not be aware. Meowdalin is a woman that he met in real life, and she's like a 24/7 LARPer of like a dog.
Yeah, she's like a puppy girl.
Okay,
and I was suspect of her just because I mean she looked like OnlyFans type, so I was like, and she was also a dog.
When you say OnlyFans type,
exactly, Weaver. Like don't do that, man. Don't make people feel like they have to closet themselves in the like. No.
Referring to like the blush and the makeup.
Like everyone has weird things.
I guess, and like it's like like that. Yeah, I guess, and like e-girl type like that.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you mind if I show the picture of because after you flew back, you got the ringworm was like visible. Do you mind if I show that?
We don't care about the ringworm.
Okay.
Sorry.
So how
we talked, but like otherwise we didn't really like talk too much.
Okay. So then that is
All right, now we go into Sacramento's story.
March 2024. Sacramento, when did you meet him?
I met him May 10th of 2025.
May 10th. So more than a full year later. And you met him on Tinder, right?
Yes.
Okay. Right off the bat, real quick, one of the things that a lot of people who are on his side, like in the YouTube sphere, said is that you had a screenshot of you matching with Tom. And they said that was strange because in your story, you said you did not know him.
A lot of the people didn't understand why she would take a screenshot of her matching with Turkey Tom. Apparently they matched like apparently they matched, and as soon as they did, she took a screenshot, and people think that's weird. If you didn't know who he was, then why would you take that screenshot? Apparently this is something people do. Apparently when you match with someone for whatever purpose, security or something, you take a screenshot. I don't know why you would do that, but it's apparently a thing, so it's not the weirdest thing ever. And it doesn't necessarily mean that she knew who he was. Apparently there were some red flags about his description, or this is so weird, right? They keep saying that, oh, he looked a little weird, he was covering his face in some photos, his description was a bit weird. Like if it's so weird, why are you matching with this guy? Like, I don't get it.
Before you met up, but you took a picture of the match. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, I took a picture of the match because I could kind of tell there was like something weird about this guy. Like,
I could tell there was something weird about this guy, but I still dated him for I don't know how many months, and I flew over. Like, I was like, so what the hell are these people doing?
I didn't know if he was famous or whatever. And also, I did that to other people as well on Tinder.
Just like everybody you meshed with to like gossip with, like girlfriends?
Yeah, like a couple of them. But yeah, he seemed like kind of weird, so I took pictures of our match.
What about his like bio? Was like, oh, I gotta document this in case I go missing or something. Like,
Yeah, he seemed a little weird. Good thing that I like weird guys, right? What?
what stood out as weird?
He was like covering his face a lot in the pictures, and there was something really off about him. So yeah, and then
Something really off about him.
I can kind of clarify on our first date.
Love it when there's something really off with them. The more off, the better.
He did. I obviously figured out who he was really fucking quick, but he continued to lie to me about what he did for a living. And yeah.
What did he say?
He told me he did like video editing or like videography.
Okay. So when you interacted with him, I remember I saw some screenshots of your text messages. And if I remember correctly, he said something literally to the effect of, "Don't look up who I am," or something?
Yeah.
Was that before or after you got weirded out by him and asked questions?
That was like during when I started asking questions about him because I started getting really suspicious, especially after the whole Ellie thing happened. Because he was still following a bunch of e-girls who like I kind of figured out that he had slept with before, and I was getting more sus, and so I ended up looking him up, and I told him like, hey, I looked you up and I found some weird shit about you, like just giving him a chance to explain it.
They said it'll become weird when they stop paying for flights, vacations, food, clothes. That is extra weird.
Himself, but instead of explaining himself, he ended up just getting really mad at me for even looking.
Okay, so why did you match him then if you felt he was so weird?
Good point.
Because he had big muscles, and like I could tell that like
Turkey Tom had big muscles. What angle are you looking at him with? Like, I guess he has something. Apparently he goes to the gym.
I'm sorry. He also did hide his face. I mean, if we're
Hemi, they don't know what big muscles is, Hemi. Show them.
being honest, he's not the most like facially gifted person, but yeah.
It like piqued your interest. Like, I have to know what this guy looks like, if he's like a 0 out of 10 troglodyte or like really handsome but shy. Is that the gist?
Yeah, I guess so. And I did figure out who he was like very quickly after matching. So
Okay. So I guess after you guys matched, how long was it before you were like, I have to figure out this guy's dating history? Let me check his Instagram.
He's got that sleeper build.
it was during when the whole Ellie scenario started happening, when I started getting suspicious. And I looked through everything, and he had told me that he had like flown out some girls before. So I started being like,
Yeah, they have a nice body, so that's why it doesn't matter if he's weird. I'm sure it'll be okay. The body compensates for the rest, you know?
This is very interesting. And I started looking in his following, and I found all these like e-girls. I actually saw Katie, and I even asked him about Katie, and he was like, oh, that was just like some girl that I dated or whatever.
Okay. But so he's trying to hide his identity. Sorry, were you guys like near each other, or was this a long distance thing? Because he's in Maine, but you're in Texas, right?
Actually, so to clarify that, he moved to Texas about a week before we matched on Tinder. And he's still in Texas right now.
Okay, so he moved that's a long move, from Maine to Texas, and then is like, okay, I gotta get into the Tinder scene right away. I gotta establish roots here. Meets you, And then if he's trying to hide his career and like his identity, why did he?
It's not that weird. It's not that weird. When you move to a new place, a lot of people will have their own ways of meeting new people. And some people who have Tinder already installed, why would you not turn to Tinder for like a few dates when you're in a new city? Like, that's not that suspicious. It's not that weird.
He like add you on social media from his like Turkey Tom accounts?
That was after I figured out who he was. I figured out who he was like maybe like during our first date. So yeah.
How?
Because this is kind of a funny story, but he was living in like a literal mansion, and so I pulled up and I was like, what the hell? And I kind of was like really suspicious about him, and then I saw that he had like
Oh, I see what happened. He lived in a mansion. Okay. I guess that also helps ignore all the red flags, doesn't it?
bunch of Turkey Tom like merchandise everywhere, and I was like,
Oh
okay, well,
no.
it's like I know who you are.
She found the Turkey Tom plush box in the closet and looked him up. Is that what it was? It's like he has like a box of these in the closet, right? Of like unsold plushies.
Yeah, he had like Turkey Tom stickers and like various like stop gooning and all of his like merch. His room was such a mess. He would just have like shit thrown about. So that's how I kind of saw everything.
I wish I had a full picture I could share of this. Don't try to do it because you might mess up the call. But your avatar on Discord is just a picture of you with like your hat pulled down, and the hat is the Stop Gooning hat. Like it's like a Trump hat with all impact Stop Gooning, which is very apropos. But so that's so funny. Like he's like, okay, I have to conceal who I am because I don't want these women to find out about my internet empire. And then just
again, I think that's perfectly normal at the beginning of a relationship for you not to tell anyone that you're that big of a deal.
leaves the Turkey Tom
You want them to learn about you at your own pace.
plushies and stickers like scattered around his room.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
How did you? Because the forum, we don't have like a really good search prominence anymore because Google has like taken us down a bunch in terms of prominence. How did you go from knowing about Turkey Tom the YouTuber to finding the forum?
I believe I was just looking up like his real name and also like Turkey Tom cheating. I think that's how it came up.
That's so funny that you're just like normie searching like, okay, does Turkey Tom cheat? And there's just like this forum thread about it because of Kai. Okay, so you told him on the first date that you had.
So apparently he does have a history with cheating. He was in a relationship with this Kai girl, and they both have admitted to cheating on each other. It was apparently a very toxic relationship. So yeah,
Already figured out who he is, and he didn't just like immediately like cut contact there. Like,
hey Riley.
No, he continued to talk to me. I mean, obviously we dated for like 7 months after that. So yeah, he knew that I knew who he was at that point. But like I wasn't like really researching. I looked at what his channel was and I was like, oh, okay, like, he does like documentaries, like whatever. But I didn't really look into him that hard until later.
Okay. Did he seem worried that you knew?
I think so. I think that he was more worried after the fact. When I started looking into him, that's when he started freaking out at me.
Okay. And how long was that into the relationship? Sorry, when you say sus, what was it? That was like, okay, I have to do more research now. I know who he is, but I have to like figure out like his history.
So at this point, Sacramento sees that he is texting this Ellie girl, and Ellie is apparently a known age player, and there will be pictures of her on screen, so.
Because at that point, I had seen, I figured out who the girl he was texting was like this like really weird girl who dressed like a kid. And so I was like, okay, this is like very alarming. I need to go and research him immediately.
And he was just did you like see this on his computer? Was he like on his phone with this person, like looking at her Instagram a lot? Or?
He was texting her, and I saw like her
So this is him and Ellie, the person that they're talking about.
name and her contact photo matched like what she looked like on Instagram.
Okay, and if I remember correctly, this is Ellie, who is like an age player on Instagram, and she's since like died.
I don't know what he means by age player, if that's just him making the situation sound worse than it really is. Maybe she just liked, because age player sort of tells me that she would lean into that sort of content, maybe as an OnlyFans model or something like that, you know? Otherwise, why would you call someone an age player?
Her hair red and looks a lot like, or tries to like dress up like Kai. Is that right? I think I have a picture of her on the screen, but I don't. I'm trying to make sure I got this right.
I'm not sure if she dresses like Kai, but she definitely likes to dress like a kid. And I saw some people on Kiwi Farms posting that she's been exposed for publicly being a lolicon and doing age play. So I'm really like not surprised based on everything I've seen.
Okay, so you just saw him creeping on her Instagram, or was he like talking to her?
He was texting her.
Okay, he was doing this a lot to the point where you could like catch him out on it multiple times.
Yes.
And when you caught him out, and this was 4 months in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
And when you called him out on this, what was his explanation?
Yeah, like there must be some sort of performance or like job related situation or income or something where you're doing it purposely, not just for your own personal routine, but like for other people, right?
Oh, he would say so much bullshit. He
He's
was
trying to paint the picture that Tom is a huge hypocrite. Well, yeah, and the fact that he keeps comparing every girl to Kai, and this might actually be a thing because these two girls do both confirm that he would constantly compare them with Kai, their body types, their mannerisms, whatever. We will see, obviously, Tom's reaction to that, but that is mentioned often throughout the interviews.
like, oh well, or she was hacked, and my nudes are getting leaked. Like, I have to talk to her. Like, I wouldn't talk to her if I didn't have to. And I was like, okay.
Okay, but this was when he explained that he was being like sextorted, right?
Yes. And so I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I was like, okay, well, maybe he is just talking to her a bunch because, he's being hacked and like he's scared. But
So there's a lot of history here with him being blackmailed with sex content, and at what point do you stop sending nudes to people? I don't know. Like, like if you don't want that stuff out there, I would be so paranoid.
Okay, so just to clarify, because I didn't explain too well, but when you called him out on this, he explained to you in text messages that he had previously, before your relationship, been sending her
And like filming every sex interaction as well, right? It's like
nudes, and she
Yes.
had been hacked, and both of their nudes were leaked, and the extortionist was sending pictures of his penis to his family and
Yes.
threatening him to post
so the extortionist was threatening to send his dick pics to his family. Holy crap, imagine.
it online unless he gave him money, right?
yeah, that's exactly
Okay.
what happened.
And so his explanation for why he was texting her during your relationship in your presence, like right next to you, was
Hey,
that he
Pete.
has to sort out what to do with Ellie because she's involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Did that ever resolve, or did you continue to like catch him talking to her throughout like the remainder of the relationship?
He ended up telling me that she like reached out to him again, but and was trying to, I guess, kind of rekindle things with him. But he told her that he has a girlfriend and to stop talking to him. But that was like months after the original incident, so that's why I was like, what?
Okay. How often did you see him like overall? Like, did you see him like once a week throughout the entire relationship?
Yeah, pretty much, because I'm in college and we're like medium distance. He lives like an hour and a half away from me, so
Okay. And that never changed. You never like moved in together or anything?
no.
Okay. Did anything before you caught him texting Ellie in those first 4 months, because you were with him for 7 months in total, right? So like 4 before, 3 after. In the first 4 months, was there anything like strange or weird or like red flag?
Well, that's when he bought me the Hello Kitty merchandise, and he would talk about how his ex-girlfriend Kai kind of like ruined his perception of love, and he doesn't know if he'll ever be able to love anyone again. And also just told me that the relationship was terrible. And the first few times we had been sexual together, he never hit me, but the hitting did start pretty soon into our relationship. And he never asked me if that I was okay with it or like asked me for permission. He would just start hitting me.
So here comes the expressing the no again. So pay attention to this part.
So, okay, there's 2 things there. Katie, real quick, when you were talking to him, would he ever bring up Kai, like, for no
Yes.
reason? Just start talking about her?
He told me I looked like Kai. He asked me if I liked Monster High dolls because of Kai, and said like, "Oh, well, my ex-girlfriend liked them."
Oh my God.
And like, and then again, like I went through his closet, and he had like an entire
I don't think it's entirely weird that we would compare, like, if it's one of your first significant relationships, I think Kai might have been his first relationship, like, significant relationship. Like, it is very common to compare to your first love, right? A lot of people do that, especially when you're really young, you lack experience. It's not necessarily nice for your current partners, depending on how you express it, obviously, but a lot of people do that.
like at least like 6
It
items.
depends on how you compare, obviously. You're not trying to replace the past with, you're not trying to make every future girlfriend resemble your first, right? That of course that would be a little bit suspicious, but I don't think overall the comparison is weird. A lot of people do that.
That were all like girl shirts from Hot Topic of like Invader Zim and shit like that. And I was like, "What the fuck are these?" And he was like, "Those are my ex-girlfriends. I just haven't gotten rid of them." And then Rowan said that he still had that shit when he moved.
So he just kept her close. Okay, that's a little bit weird.
Yeah, so
Oh.
like he brought her up multiple times. So especially to me, because I talked to him right after they broke up, and like it was, and he told me I looked like her, like everything, and like told me multiple times,
Yeah, definitely don't do that, Pete. Definitely not.
like, oh, you remind me of Kai.
He told you multiple times that you looked like his ex
Yes,
and that you acted like his ex?
yes. Even though he would ask me if I was into things, and it was obvious that he was asking because Kai would like them, and then he would get like a little sad when I would be like, no.
Wow. That's what a stupid thing to say to a woman. Did Sacramento, did you hear anything like that? Did he ever compare you to Kai?
He basically said that like my parents would love you because you're nothing like Kai, and he kind of would like ask me questions to see if we had similar hobbies, but he was basically I was referred to as his first quote unquote normal girlfriend that didn't have BPD.
Okay.
So
Did you ever feel
I honestly, I don't know if we can really judge anything there with that or Medley, because a lot of people have like different routes or different time that they're used to driving to places, right? Some areas are more suburb, some areas are more city. It's hard. Maybe in her area she needed to go further to find more people. Sometimes you gotta put your range up further to not be so limited to the people that the app finds for you. I'm not sure though.
like he was like training himself? Like, okay, I'm gonna have like a normal relationship now. I'm
yes.
gonna try to,
Oh my gosh.
It really felt like
All
that?
the time. Yeah, all the time. I felt like he was so used to like BPD bitches that I guess I'm somewhat normal, and he didn't really know how to like act because I wasn't constantly being like, I love you so much, like I want to spend the rest of my days with you. Like I wasn't kind of doing the BPD behaviors, and so I think he was like, oh, like this is weird.
I'm not being like suffocated in this relationship. What do we do? Do we just sit here and like do our own things? Did he feel like in unease because there was like silence and time, or like what did he specifically do that was like, I feel like I'm being like tested on, I'm being like trained on? Did you feel like he was like particularly aggressive because he was upset or something?
Sometimes yes, and I can attest to this. After
For educators, using Tinder is a bad idea because students find it. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah.
I went on a live stream with Liam, the guy that she cheated on Tom with. Tom freaked the fuck out and came to come see me and was the most aggressive he had ever been towards me because of that situation. And I think that is the same time that I told my roommate about how aggressive he had been.
Okay, so were you aware that this stream had happened, that he was upset about it?
Yes, because he told me that that was the reason why he was upset.
How long into the relationship was this?
That happened in October. So I guess, oh my gosh, when did we meet? So like maybe like 4 or 5 months into it.
Okay. But you said he started really, really early, right? Like after a couple times you met him, he would just start like hitting you, like slapping you, like in the face?
Yeah, during sex. Yeah, he never discussed it with me that this was going to be a thing. He would just start.
So just no warning, he just started slapping you in the face?
Yes.
Did you like tell him like, I'm not okay with this?
I told him a couple times, I was like, why did you slap me? And he's like, oh, like I thought you liked that. And I was like, I don't know, like not really my thing.
I thought you liked that. And she's like, I don't know, not really my thing. That's not exactly the same as no, you know? That still leaves the door open.
And then he would continue to do it to me after the fact.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Did you ever like explicitly say no in certain terms, don't do that?
No, because usually it was in the middle of sex and then he would be covering my mouth so I couldn't say no.
Okay, so your reasoning as to why you didn't say no, I don't want this, is because during sex he would close your mouth. I'm sorry. What about after sex? What about between the first and second time? Between the second and fourth time? Between the fifth and 10th time? Like that. We know that makes absolutely no sense. That you wouldn't speak up and say I don't want this. It doesn't matter if the guy is like covering your face, even if you're, you know, he's way too rough on you and you can't escape that situation, then maybe later mention it, or I don't know, run for your life.
Okay. Oh, so he's like covering your mouth. Did you ever like try to like break away from his grip?
Yeah, and he would just like pull me harder.
Okay. But then after that, you would like complain to friends privately, but you didn't like sit him down and say like, I'm not okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay. So the time that he was particularly...
So she confirms she never sat him down and said, I'm not okay with this.
Rough after the Kai interview.
Mm-hmm.
Did like the sex feel like anonymous? Like did it seem like
saying no is not the only way? Absolutely, but like some people do need to be told like straight up, like no, this is not what I want. You know, Some people don't understand it any other way, or you know, especially if you're like still wanting to keep the relationship going and you want there to be like communication and you want there to be an understanding between the two. Like you try to confirm that the other person is understanding what you're saying, you know, and there's plenty of different ways to try to get that to happen.
He was trying to like not look at you in the process. I don't know if that makes sense or if what I'm getting at doesn't make sense, but
Yes, because this is very, very graphic, and I'm sorry, but he basically would throw me onto the bed and shove my face down so I couldn't say anything, and like just repeatedly like have sex with me. And so I was basically just like laying there while he did that to me and would hold my head down really hard.
okay. And would this also last for like an hour, like each time?
Yeah, it would last pretty long.
Okay. And you would bleed the
Yes.
same? And you didn't stop?
Yeah, I would bleed almost every time.
Because it would last so long that there's like no arousal after.
Yeah.
How long? Okay. And like with the lube, did you ever say like you have to use lube because this is painful?
He did get lube at one point, but he only used it like once, and he said that he
So this is Sacramento talking.
would just use it to jerk off usually.
Wow. Okay, so how early into the relationship did you notice that he was filming
Pete, please. Pete, come on now. We're not here talking about me, all right?
you without discussing it?
This had to be like over the summer. I'm
But
not
like I said earlier, everybody's weird in their own way, you know? Everybody should stop kink shaming.
sure of an exact date, but maybe like 2 or 3 months into our relationship, he would like he never asked me. He would just pull out his phone and record, and I wouldn't notice until maybe 30 seconds in a minute or a minute into it. And what really concerned me about this is that I was like, you know what? Okay, like he's just filming me during sex, but I've asked him multiple times if he could please send me the videos, so like he's not the only one who has
Okay, so you don't explicitly say stop filming me. You're just like, can you please send them to me so that we both have some evidence of this happening?
videos of me naked. And he either ignored the question or was just like, no. So he's
How many times
basically
did you ask?
maybe like 3 or 4 times.
And that was all after the 4 month thing, right? Because I remember that you mentioned that you were trying to get the videos because you were trying to get like afraid of him, and he just wouldn't give it to you. Okay.
Yes.
Did you ever feel
Okay, so something else that I want to mention here is that I think they both refer to this at one point that there could have been an aspect to not being able to terminate the relationship due to him having evidence of these sexual encounters, right? So potentially, they could have been scared to leave the relationship due to him having this evidence, potentially like posting it somewhere or making it public or whatever it may be. And that could sort of keep them in the relationship. However, beyond them saying that when the time's right in the interview, it does not, they don't express this concern and this fear throughout the interview, like consistently, right? The way that they tell the stories, the way that they feel about him, the way that they express him doing this or this or that, there isn't this consistent idea of blackmail for me to be able to say, yes, they were in the relationship because they couldn't leave because they were afraid the sex videos would get out. Like that, it does not translate that like that to me. Okay? I'm not sure if you guys are feeling the same way about it, but I do not feel like that is a reason why they wouldn't leave the relationship because they were scared that these videos would come out. Like it doesn't seem that this was being used as blackmail throughout the relationships.
afraid to leave him?
I did. I was scared to leave him because of the videos, and I know that he has like a big platform.
Do you see how he sort of like asked that question and she's like, yeah, I was scared to leave. And there might have been a thought at one point where she was like, okay, what is he going to do with these videos? Is it okay for me to leave or end the relationship? Of course, that can have been a thought, but the consistent being scared doesn't seem to be the case. And he sort of like pushed that narrative just now when he asked that question the way that he did.
And he could probably say some shit about me, or like, I don't know. Like, it's the same thing with Kai. Like, I know he has some crazy shit on her, and like, God bless you, Kai, but like, I know that he has some shit on you, and I kind of felt the same way.
Okay, so this is where we're going to Kai's take on all this. So Kai is also on Twitter as everybody else is, and she posts something that says, my experience with Turkey Tom, right? And so she has this whole document that she wrote So this is the Kai person that these two keep referring to. They say that they keep comparing them to her. They say that this was the big relationship that he was in, that he was a love that he could never forget. So this is the Kai, and she says, "My name is Caitlin Kai, and I dated Turkey Tom off and on between August 2020 and November 2023. So this is quite a long relationship between the ages of 17 and 2021. We're about 3 years total. Here are a couple of pictures of us together that I don't think I've posted previously, but regardless, you can see we are the same person based on this recent photo of me, right? So yeah, same person. This is something I really thought I would never have to respond to. I have spent over 2 years going out of my way to avoid addressing any of the claims made about me or my relationship. I even privated all of my social media for a very long time because I have never wanted to be a spectacle for people to poke at intimate details of my life for their own entertainment. Given recent events, however, I feel a sense of responsibility to say something." So she obviously is responding to the allegations that people are throwing at Tom, and as a past relationship and as someone who has dated Tom for a longer period of time, like 3 years, she felt like I have to say something, in this case, to help Tom's perspective of things. So she says, "Tom and I had a very mutually toxic relationship, and yes, we both cheated on each other online. This behavior isn't good from either of us, but our private matters that don't in any way deserve to be blasted on the internet by me, and I would never feel the need to put that out to the world by my own choice. Unfortunately, it's been made public against either of our wishes, so I thought I should just acknowledge it." She says, "Now, to give my experience with Tom in relation to the serious allegations being made by former partners. There's a lot of information being shared that I find to be extremely unnecessary, with the driving motivator to humiliate him. I find this behavior to be abhorrent and will not address any minor anecdote about him that doesn't carry emotional relevance. I really need to stress that this is just my experience, and he may have acted differently with the girls who he was involved with after me. I am not undermining anyone's experiences and don't wish to speculate on their credibility. I will directly reply to him as a partner overall at the end. In regards to recording sexual encounters, the few times we did record something, it was either with explicit permission beforehand or an established consent based on previous conversations in our long-term relationship. It really wasn't a frequent thing that happened, mostly before we started living together and we're long distance. There are a lot of things we did where I look back and shake my head because my standards for myself really have changed so much since then, but everything was always consensual between us. There were a few instances where I became uncomfortable with an encounter, and he was understanding and would not continue after I voiced discomfort. I don't think this is an allegation being made about him, but I want to stress that nothing in the bedroom that was rough or aggressive ever translated to domestic interactions. There are a lot of negative things to say about Tom, but he was always surprisingly patient and never did so much as yell at me. I never once felt fearful of him when he was angry the entire time we were in a relationship, which included living together for over 6 months. There has been a message circulating claiming that Tom and I participated in H-play, which is just a blatant twisting of the truth. Tom definitely romanticizes power dynamics and heavy dom sub stuff, but that was never expressed through age-related dynamic role-playing. It's clear he has a type of Sanrio. He has a type for Sanrio mentally ill e-girls, but I just can't say that from my experience that it was ever pedophilic in nature. Pedophilic? The person I knew between the years of 2020 and 2023 was not into those things. Anything after that, I wouldn't know. Is it true that Tom has a blackmail folder on me consisting of phone recordings and text messages? I've known about it for a very long time because he told me. We were messy as fuck, okay? I have never had any intentions of speaking about him publicly, but I did decide to be evil after one of the times we broke up and tell him I was going to ruin his career because he was ignoring me, and I knew it would freak him out. So, yeah, I get his concern, even though I clarified a million times I would never do that. So, let's keep in mind here, she is confirming that there is a folder, and this probably started from their toxic relationship back and forth with the cheating and the lying, and so Tom has apparently, maybe as a consequence of that happening between them, created a blackmail folder, the just-in-case folder, that the other two girls have mentioned during the interview, where he keeps phone recordings and text messages. I'm not sure it would include nudes and videos though, but with the intention of maybe reacting to blackmail or blackmailing himself. I don't know. But she does confirm that exists and that he told her about that. This was extremely shitty of me, and I'm really embarrassed to admit it publicly, but without this context, it looks worse than it is. I do not feel at all fearful about him leaking anything private related to me in response to this, because I think I've been very respectful along with everything being the truth. Overall, Tom as a person is extremely flawed, and I'm disappointed to see he is still generally self-centered around sex as an act. Our relationship really fucked me up for a while, and certain things still affect me negatively from it. According to what some have said, it goes both ways. Most of the things that hurt me about our relationship don't have much crossover with what other people have said about him, so I feel relieved that I can still maintain some privacy in a sense. We literally met as minors, and it's still the longest relationship I've been in. You don't date someone for 3+ years if you don't think they are an irredeemable piece of shit. If you think they are an irredeemable piece of shit. I've never known him to be a person capable of these things, but everyone who has spoken up about him has been after we broke up, so I just couldn't know. As sad as angry as he's made me feel, I've never thought of him to be heartless or sadistically cruel, just someone that has a lot of issues. All I have is my own experience to use as guide for what I think is true, but others shouldn't take it as gospel above someone else's testimony. I apologize for my brevity, as I only want to give pointed answers to avoid relaying intimate details about my sex life with an ex. I do not want to come across like I'm exposing Turkey Tom. I just felt morally inclined to share my experience about certain things, since people have been wanting to specifically hear what I have to say. I don't think there's any need for follow-up. I've said everything I wish to comment on. I hope I can just go about my life without this constantly coming up, because we've been broken up for so long now. Okay, that was a lot of reading. But basically, I think she was mentioned a lot even during the interview, so I can imagine why people would pressure her into saying something. Especially because they were probably very public about this relationship as well. And I think this was at a point where he was already making content. Maybe he was already successful. People already knew him. I think she might also be a content creator. I'm not sure. So they were very public about their relationship. It was a 3+ year relationship. So yeah, I think it makes sense for people to wonder, yo, did he do something to Kai, right? So yeah, she came out with this. Now, the interesting part of this is that this statement from Kai actually gets mentioned in the interview because it was done before. And it has some interesting points regarding that as well. Let's see, where are we at? The just in case folder.
You're referring to, what was the name of it? They call it the blackmail folder, but it had a name like just in case.
He called it the just in case folder.
Is that like literally the name of it on his desktop?
Yes.
Okay. And you never saw inside of it? You have no idea what's inside of it?
No, I never looked.
That's okay. Okay. Okay, are you worried that he's going to like revenge porn you?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what he's done with the videos. I don't have access to them, but I don't know.
So from what I understand, with the just in case folder, the way that Kai has expressed it is that it's a folder with maybe screenshots of past relationships or like voicemails or calls or whatever, where he sort of is able to show others what kind of relationship they were in case, this is me just speculating, but in case something comes forward, he's able to use that information to defend himself. That is what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like he is keeping things like revenge porn potentially in that folder, but that's just me speculating. I
think that would be people's like main question is like, if you think that this guy is like violently aggressive and has videos of you naked, like why? I figure I guess now would be the appropriate time. A question I like to ask people who we talk to like this is, in an ideal situation, what is like the outcome of this conversation? Like if you controlled like the threads of fate? What happens after this discussion?
I want to stop talking about it on social media and just go actually figure out a way to get those videos and maybe get the police involved, because I just
So she's talking about getting the police involved.
honestly, what makes me nervous is that I'm not an internet person. I'm not trying to, I wasn't ever in it for like, I want to get a bunch of clout, like famous, but I'm just nervous that he's going to do this to like so many other women.
Do what?
So it's like one part like self-interested. I kind of want to like force him to like delete my folder on his computer, and then like one part don't date this guy because he's like sexually violent.
Yeah.
Okay. Katie, do you have a different interest? Do you like what would you?
I just
want to
felt
happen?
bad for her. Like, I don't know. I like, as an internet girl, I was like, whatever. These like other girls will either come out about it or something will happen. Like, I like didn't want, and also like just being a girl on the internet, I did not want to deal with like dogpiling or anything. So I just
Okay, I remember the number one thing that really stood out from all the messages, and this is just funny to me personally, okay, because of who I am. After you said that after 4 months in, you found the Kiwi Farms, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, he could not maintain an erection.
I'm trying to think of exactly, because I confronted him about all the girls and I started really being on his ass in December. And then as soon as, basically as soon
As the interviewer, right? This Jason guy, no. At some point, he feels like all the questions have been asked and things are mostly like answered. But then he starts going into like his personal, like, he wants to know details about Tom. So it feels unnecessary, but
as I told him about Kiwi Farms and like the fact that I knew everything, we went to go meet his family, and during that whole trip, he couldn't.
No, I mean, I'll keep him if I
he
can.
couldn't maintain an erection. Yeah, who cares? So he asks at one point, did your friends warn you about this guy? Why didn't you leave sooner?
It's probably like, I'm just thinking, because all the serial killers said that they were really addicted to pornography. It's like, that sounds like a stepping stone to like becoming a serial killer, is when you have to have like blood and screaming and sex to ejaculate.
that's kind of how I felt.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Sacramento, you were talking to like your friends throughout this relationship, right? Did any of them, like, I saw some texts where you were telling them and they were concerned, or maybe that was just Katie. Did anybody like warn you, like, this is messed up, you should probably leave?
Yeah, my friends told me, this is never ever okay. Like, I know that he has money and all of that, but you shouldn't just stay with him. Like, you're worth so much more than that. And just trying to be like supportive, but unfortunately, I did still stay with him.
Even her friends knew it. She was doing it for money. Hot damn.
And I know a lot of people seem to have a lot of questions about that. And honestly, you were completely correct to question my judgment as to why I stayed with him, even though he was, hitting and choking and beating me.
Is there any thought process behind like not leaving? I guess it's easier to stay in a relationship in general than to leave. It's like a hard decision to do that.
Yeah.
So was
Yeah.
it just like, I'm in school and I don't want to like change up my life too much by like breaking this off early, or?
I genuinely did think that he would maybe change and stop being so aggressive, because he told me before that he would like kind of chill out, but he never did chill out, and it kept being the same very intense, violent aggression every single time.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't like tied to anything, right? It was never like a bad day. And just so you know, even in like BDSM stuff, you're never supposed to like take real life anger and turn that into like sex. That's also like a red flag in general for anyone who needs to hear that. So yeah, my question is, he was just always like this. There's never a time where it's like, today, let's just have sex. It's like always, every time.
Yeah, it was always aggressive, but like I said before, during the times when Kai started coming out with like that guy that she's with, Liam, he would be so angry and take his aggression out on me, especially hard during sexual encounters.
And for either of you, there was no point at all where he was ever like interested in like, oh, was it good for you? Like,
No.
Oh no,
Never.
he never asked.
never. Okay,
No.
cool. About brutal.
This is where they discuss Kai's statement. And he has a very interesting theory that I would like to discuss with you guys.
Like dehumanizing sex is applicable to my experience with him, but they might be right. I don't know. Like, that's basically what she said. It felt very strange. She did confirm explicitly the blackmail folder, though. She said that's completely real, which makes it sound like everything that she's saying to downplay it is blackmailed. Because why would you bring that up?
So correct me if I'm wrong. Is he saying that her statement is benefiting Tom and she's not being truthful because there's blackmail involved? Like she's literally being blackmailed and that's why she wrote the statement? That's what he's saying, right? Let me go back.
About brutal, like dehumanizing sex is applicable to my experience with him. But they might be right. I don't know. Like, that's basically what she said. It felt very strange. She did confirm explicitly the blackmail folder, though. She said that's completely real, which makes it sound like everything that she's saying to downplay it is blackmailed. Because why would you bring that up?
He like, comes up with that all on his own.
I mean, does that sound like a fair assessment of the document that she just says we have a bad relationship? There's serious allegations being made. She believes that your driving motivation is to humiliate him, and she says that this is abhorrent. Is her exact word. She says she's not addressing any specific thing, but says that he did record stuff, but there was not like any violent, degrading sex. I mean, do you have any
want me to go
opinions about
first,
this?
or do you want to go first, Zach?
You can go first.
Oh God. Okay. I agree with her, like with Kai, that they probably didn't have like a fully like he wasn't doing the same thing to her as he's doing to other girls, and she even says in it that like who knows what he's like after her. And I think that like, and he told me and Zach that Kai didn't like having sex with him and didn't like giving head, and that like they barely had sex. And I can imagine that it's probably because he is aggressive, and she probably didn't like doing it. So at one point she just like stopped. And so I think like, and I think that she like mentally molested him or something to where, because that's why he like compares everyone to her, still has all her stuff, and is like really weird about her and like stalks her and her new boyfriend. That I think that, yeah, it could have went like toxic, but like mutually fine, whatever. But I think that's like why that's the reason he's like this now, is like something obviously was like fucked in that relationship.
Yeah, I agree. I have some specific things I want to bring up, but do you have any thoughts, Sacramento?
Yeah, I agree. I think that he definitely had some like weird like limerence issue with her where he just couldn't let her go. And I also don't think that she realized how badly whatever she did to him completely fucked him up. I mean, she did cheat on Tom with Liam, who was one of his friends at the time, which I think is a pretty terrible thing to do to someone. But yeah, I agree. I don't think that their relationship might not have been abusive or whatever, but I do think that, you know, she confirmed a lot of the things that we said. And I think that he was kind of going after girls that look like her so he could take his anger out on girls.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like, it really feels.
Okay, so they all three of them, the interviewer and the two girls, agree that the reason why he wasn't violent with Kai, with Kai, was because he only developed the desire to be aggressive with women after her, so that he could, in one way, take it out on them, what he was really wanting to do to Kai. Because he was that angry about the relationship ending with Kai and not having her in his life anymore. So he would take it out on all these other girls after her. That's their theory.
Like, just based off like the nature of it, like the positions and stuff, it really feels like he's trying to surrogate her so he can like punish her, and that's why it has
I
to be
agree.
like so. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, all of them have to look exactly like her, and they have to remind him of her, and then he can take it out on him.
That's pretty dark.
And I agree that I feel like she's a little hush hush and like vague on stuff because of the whole just in case file. Like I think it would just become
Yeah, and that she's being blackmailed, and that's why she wrote this statement.
like an evil war if they both came out with if she came out with any actual damning evidence, he probably would try to like destroy her life.
Yeah, I mean, what the letter reads very weird to me, because number one, there's not like a thesis. It's not like she's out there saying, I want to make this clear. It's like, what are you even trying to say in this document?
Yeah.
You go first.
He told me apparently that he had fired a bunch of his editors, and so he would do all the editing. But
At this point, the interviewer was like asking a bunch of questions about like the back end of how Tom Turkey works, of like who's actually doing the work behind the documentaries.
would still pay people to like collect everything and write up a script for him.
Okay. Yeah, that removes some of the joy from it. If you don't have any interest in the subject whatsoever and are just voicing over videos at that point.
Yeah.
Like downplaying his job and just,
I'm not sure. So after you guys broke up in December, so only a month ago, and then there was how many weeks between that and deciding to like post on the forum, and what was like the motivating factor? Because for posterity's sake, if you're listening, like in the future, the Kiwi Farms right now has been.
Okay, we're gonna end it. We're gonna end this video here. But I just want to mention that he goes on to ask very inappropriate questions, like how big he was. Literally asking how big was Turkey Tom. I think if you, I don't know, if you truly believe that they were being raped, right, throughout their relationship, I don't think he would ask that. I don't know. Anyway. So after all this happens, we have Turkey Tom answering all these allegations. It did take him a little bit, but he also explains why it took him a while.
I'm sorry that this response took so long. I wanted to make sure I had all the facts together before saying anything. Recently, I've been accused by an ex-girlfriend, along with an ex-partner, of non-consensually filming sexual encounters, being so...
It doesn't. Monster Jojo, by the end of the interview, he just wanted a bunch of dirt on Tom. That's what he was doing. All the questions that he was asking, the last 30 minutes to 45 minutes, he was just literally just trying to get dirt on him.
so rough and inconsiderate.
Making him look bad. Unrelated completely to the reason of the interview, yeah.
During sexual encounters that it bordered on assault, encouraging eating disorders, being into age play, along with a litany of other completely baseless, false accusations. The two women who are accusing me, Sacramento89, real name Rowan, and Left 4 Dead, real name Katie, took to gossip forum Kiwi Farms to post the accusations, along with carefully cherry-picked screenshots to back up their claims. These claims aren't super difficult to debunk just because of the overwhelming amount of evidence I have on my side. So without further ado, let's start with Sacramento or Rowan. This is a girl
Does this evidence come from your just-in-case folder? Maybe you should say that too.
I dated for about 7 months, from May of 2025 until January 10th of 2026. 4 days later, she made her first post. Here, she alleges that I am a real freak and like to, quote,
4 days later.
record sexual encounters without asking for consent. This is blatantly untrue. I have never recorded any sexual encounter without explicit consent. As a matter of fact, with Rowan, she was the one who initiated the idea of filming sex acts in the first place. On Tuesday, August 19th, after 3 months of knowing each other and
Imagine the receipts. Bam! One after the other. Bam! Bam! Receipts after receipts after
being
receipts.
sexually active, Rowan texted me saying, "You should get those meta glasses when you crack me." I responded by saying, "For what?" And she answers again, "Cracking time," alluding to me filming her with the glasses onboard camera. Now, at the time, I did not feed into this. I did not show enthusiasm. I didn't even agree to get the glasses. I just responded and said, "Good night, sweet dreams." So 1 whole week goes by without us talking about it whatsoever. And then on August 25th, Rowan texts me saying, "You should get those meta things for real." So I respond
Are you bus driver for Bus LCU think so? Oh, really? There's no way anybody thinks so. I don't believe it.
by saying, "I think I'm going to avoid filming anything involving sex for a while," showing that I'm clearly not the person interested in
Thank you so much for the support, El Diablo. Thank you.
filming our sexual encounters. She is. As you can see in the text, even when I say I don't want to film us having sex, she pushes the issue. Now, to be clear, we did eventually take videos of ourselves being intimate, but I was given explicit consent every single time. And on a few occasions, she even took the phone out of my hand and was holding it while filming us. To be clear, there was never a tripod or a hidden camera. It was always handheld, and in every single video, she was clearly aware of the camera, making eye contact with the camera lens. Also, on September 8th, Rowan texts me, "I do miss it though," in regards to our sexual interactions. She follows it up by saying, "Send the videos." Keep in mind, these are videos that she claims in present day were taken without her consent. She then goes on to say, and I quote, "I will watch them and keep them close to my heart," clearly indicating she has no problem whatsoever with them existing. I'm an extremely paranoid person.
I do want to understand if you actually sent them, though, because she did mention in an interview that she wanted you to send them. And she literally in that message says, send the video, hashtag send the videos. Did you end up sending the videos or not?
When it comes to my personal life and my sex life and my dating life, as a public figure, I just like to keep my private life private. So I was very hesitant to send Rowan any sexual videos we had taken. However, I did send her one single still image from one of the videos where my face is obscured. I guess there was some lingering thought in the back of my mind that if her accounts were not locked down super well and if she had been hacked, then the videos could have been made public. Now, there's an implication she makes a few different times that I'm basically blackmailing her with these videos.
Somebody asked if you had any intention of getting any sort of like law enforcement involved, but I feel like you answered this where you just want to try to compel him to delete whatever he has on you, and that's like the like the extent of your interest.
Yeah. And if he doesn't, I don't know. I'm kind of confused about what to do, but we'll see.
At no point anywhere did Rowan provide any proof of me threatening to release these videos of us having sex or threatening to send them anywhere. So she has no reason to believe that I would ever release them. The idea that I, a person who makes a living as a public figure, would publicly release videos of me fucking my ex-girlfriend to get back at her is so insane. Not only would that incur reputational harm beyond belief, but also serious legal consequences. The only person who has ever sent an image of us having sex to anyone is, ironically, Rowan. Days after I broke up with her, she, without my consent, sent the only image she has of us having sex to the owner of Kiwi Farms. Here, listen to him describe it.
Oh, and one other thing, I forgot about this, but you actually, Sacramento had sent me a picture that was like censored. Apparently the only picture that he would send you is one where his face isn't clearly visible in it, but you can,
Yes.
I can
She freaking sent it to him! She leaked it!
tell the desk like his computer is moved onto the table, but I can still see like the monster is like on the cozy that's like on the table, like in the exact same position. So I can tell that's clearly his desk.
I guess I just find it ironic that someone who's accusing me of blackmailing her with her nudes literally sent a picture of us having sex to a man that she has never met. Now, Josh recounts seeing this image and talks about how hard it looks like I was grabbing Rowan on the mouth, essentially using it as evidence to support another claim she makes that I'm too rough during sex, which I find very interesting because after I sent Rowan this photo, she texted me saying, "I like when you cover my mouth like that." Again, she texted me asking me to send her the videos, and
Oh, snap!
She says, yeah, whenever you're not logged in, send the videos. It will fix me for about a week. Goon sesh. This is clear evidence that she has no problem with these videos existing. To this day, she has provided zero proof that the videos were recorded non-consensually, or that I was blackmailing her with them, or that I had any intention of sending them to anyone. Reason being, I never did any of those things. In Rowan's interview, she claims that I never asked for consent to film these sex acts, and says that she wouldn't notice I was filming until 30 seconds to 1 minute into it.
I'm not sure of an exact date, but maybe like 2 or 3 months into our relationship, he never asked me. He would just pull out his phone and record. And I wouldn't notice until maybe 30 seconds in a minute or a minute into it.
Now, I obviously can't and would never show these videos to anyone, but in them, it's undeniable that she is staring directly into the camera from the moment the video starts. She never once questions why I'm filming or what I'm doing, because the reality is that every single time we recorded, I had explicit permission. Ask yourself, how could she possibly have never consented to filming when she's literally holding my phone next to her face as she sucks my dick? In the interview, she says that what really concerns her is that I wouldn't send her any of the sexual videos we took.
I've asked him multiple times if he could please send me the videos, so like he's not the only one who has videos of me naked. And he either ignored the question or was just like, no.
As I said earlier, I was paranoid to send these videos to anyone, even her, for fear of them leaking. Weirdly, in messages at the time, she seems to actually get it, saying, I want to see them videos, goon time, before following up by saying that she actually understands why I'm scared to send them to her. Now we're going to fast forward to October 17th in our text, and Rowan says, do you ever go back and watch our videos? And I reply, yes, I do sometimes, actually. Rowan responds that she's thinking about that right now, and then says, quote, need that big white cock. It's also kind of strange to me that at the time she referred to them as our videos, but in the present, she's claiming she doesn't even want them to exist. On November 6th, Rowan asked me why I never asked her for nudes. I say I have a bunch of videos already, and
You never asked me for nudes? I have a bunch of videos already? That's why? Oh yeah, you got a file.
that's why. She does not express that she has a problem with me having the videos. She doesn't complain about it. She doesn't say they were taken without her consent. In fact, throughout the entire relationship, she was sending me nude photos of herself unsolicited every single month. Why would you send nude photos of yourself to someone you think could use them against you? Rowan personally posted dozens of screenshots.
Yeah, there you go, guys. The fact that there was no fear throughout the relationship that he would do something with the content that he filmed. It's very clear.
Of our texts, and not a single one shows her bringing up any of the videos being non-consensual. Another interesting fact is that during our breakup, she texted me a pros and cons list, which she apparently had written about me on January.
Ooh, a pros and cons list. How fun. There's some pros. Sweet sometimes. Dates are nice. Tries to make it work. Is funny. Pays for meals. Oh, damn. Makes me feel secure. Muscles. And then there's cons. Chopped in the face and thinks we're matched in looks. Cheated on ex. Follows his friends around like a dog. Seems depressed all the time. Holy crap. No surprises. Takes hours to respond. So dry and vague. Barely compliments me. Doesn't leave his house. Online all the time. No hobbies other than gym or video games. Talks about other women lustfully in front of me. Follows IG models, OF models, girls even when I asked him to stop. Wait. Oh, there we go. No romance. Doesn't seem to want to support me at all in the future. Seems like he still has some type of, feels some type of way towards his ex. Every time I bring up a valid concern, he says, I'm nice to you, though, so stop complaining. Sent dick pics to a Belle Delphine copycat before. Sex is all about him. Well, that's his dynamic. Well, ran through... What? Looks up to Sam Hyde, unironically. Says he likes hurting me during sex even when I bleed. Seems kind of self-obsessed. Doesn't even talk about us, just him. Doesn't really seem to care about my goals at all. Everything is about him. I do the bare minimum, therefore you're not allowed to feel upset. Damn, okay.
4th of 2026. And in the con section, she complains about a lot of things, but she doesn't mention non-consensual videos whatsoever. With that out of the way, we can move on to Rowan's claim that I was sexually abusive towards her. In that same pros and cons list, Rowan wrote, says he likes hurting me during sex and making me bleed. This also reflects her public claims about me, but the great irony is that I never even said this. She did. On September 14th, 2025, Rowan sent me a text saying, quote,
oh, okay.
I'm such a freak. I like when it hurts and bleeds after.
Dude! Oh my god. That's wild, man. Wild. So she says, I'm such a sick freak. I like when it hurts and bleeds after. Something's wrong. Yeah.
Something Wong. In one of her public-facing posts about me, she posts an interaction which reads as follows. She says, quote, like, we don't need to do it 3 times in one day, or do it so hard I hurt and bleed. And I said,
Don't need to do it 3 times in one day, or do it so hard I hurt and bleed. Well, if you don't want to have as much sex, we don't gotta. We can do other things. Okay, I like doing other things too.
Well, if you don't want to have as much sex, we don't gotta. We can do other things. And she says, okay, I like doing other things too. The way this screenshot is cropped, it comes across like I'm some, just super callous freak who's brutally jackhammering her vagina like Steve mining diamonds. But in the full uncropped screenshot, her immediate response to me after that is, I'm a freak. I say this. And as soon as I see you, I'm gonna be freaky again. I can't resist. In the interview, she elaborates.
Yo, the out of context stuff, dude, I can't. How could she even do that? Literally the next sentence she says is that she won't be able to resist anyway, dude. No, man. How can you crop it to make it seem a certain way when you know the next sentence you're like...
On this even more, specifically claiming that she would bleed almost every time we had sex.
Okay, and you would bleed the
Yes.
same? And you didn't stop?
Yeah, I would bleed almost every time.
This is just blatantly untrue as well, and it's easy to see by going through our text messages. On August 17th of 2025, the day after...
I started my period. That sucks. Do you mind getting your sword bloody? This is such a joke, dude. This is such a joke. And he's like, I'll be okay. Okay. What do you mean by that? I'm driving. Shut up. No, I don't mind. Okay. Epics. Dude.
My birthday. Rowan and I were planning to go to mass, and she wanted to have sex with me. So she texted me saying, Tom, I started my period. I was driving, so I couldn't say much, but I replied by saying, that sucks. I'm 40 minutes away. She follows up by asking me if I mind getting my sword bloody, and I say, I'll be okay. So if it wasn't already clear, she's asking me if I'm okay with getting blood on my dick. Why would this be something she's even asking if every time we have sex, I'm making her bleed? Keep in mind, this is months into us going out and being sexually active, and she's still worried at the idea of bleeding during...
Well, to be fair, period blood is different from blood as a result of pounding her too hard. I mean, okay, let's be fair here, Tom. There's a difference, okay, between period and hurting from, okay? I mean, come on.
Sex would gross me out. Now, as soon as she began posting about me, people were naturally perplexed by her claim that she was bleeding from sex every single time. They asked if she had some kind of medical problem, and she says, I have no
Do you have some kind of medical problem?
health issue that I know of, never bled during sex before. It was the aggression. Just gave into it after a while and told him I liked it, but I bled after almost every single time. I feel like
You told him you liked it, but you didn't.
most of this statement has already been dispelled, but even the smallest detail of no medical condition that I know of is also false. On September 24th of 2025, Rowan texted me saying that she's going to switch from her current birth control, Nexplanon, to the pill because she has month-long periods that cause her to bleed. So regardless of sex, Rowan admittedly bleeds for an entire month at a time. One of Rowan's main criticisms is that I'm too rough. In fact, she describes our sexual interactions as intense, violent aggression every single time.
I genuinely did think that he would maybe change and stop being so aggressive because he told me before that he
Oh my god, this drives me nuts! How can you go online and say these horrible things about someone? Oh, sorry, my tracking. I was rubbing my eyes out of disbelief. I'm sorry. Holy crap!
he would like kind of chill out, but he never did chill out, and it kept being the same very intense, violent aggression every single time.
She also alleges that I hit, choked, and beat her without asking, essentially painting me as an abusive partner.
Unfortunately, I did still stay with him, and I know a lot of people seem to have a lot of questions about that, and honestly, you were completely correct to question my judgment as to why I stayed with him, even though he was, hitting and choking and beating me.
There's this idea she's trying to paint that in the relationship, I was constantly pushing this rough, violative sex onto her, and even though she didn't like it and was being abused, she stayed with me. I've seen some people question her saying things like, well, if you hated it, why didn't you just leave? But realistically, sometimes people do stay with abusive partners, and I don't want to invalidate their stories through my response. The real reason that she didn't leave is because she loved having sex with me, and throughout our entire relationship was constantly begging me to validate her fantasies. In this first screenshot here, she expresses that she is a real freak and says that she wants me to kidnap her, even saying, I want to be tied up, taken to the woods, and pounded, so maybe there's something wrong with me. I respond by saying that we should not have sex in the woods, and she says, you nervous? Right here in this next one, Rowan says, I yearn to be manhandled and led across a dark room. That's why I like you. I reply saying, you are like a dungeon person, and she says, you are big like a caveman and I feel small next to you. In fact, anytime I wanted to have more loving, slow, I guess sensual intercourse with Rowan in the bedroom, she actually had a problem with that. I remember one specific instance where I was being more slow and sensual, and I remember her whispering in my ear saying, I want you to pound me. And that's probably why on June 5th, 2025, she texted me saying, I need to get face fucked for an hour. And I replied by saying, damn, exams suck. On June 7th, she texted me and says, I'm excited to get fucked borderline domestic violently. At one point,
This is what happens, girl! This is what happens when you try to accuse someone! Holy Holy crap! Man, it sucks right now to be you. Where can I find love like that? Would have found you in the woods.
In the interview, she states that one time I was angry at my ex-girlfriend, and that the next time we had sex, I was particularly aggressive. This is a very strange thing to accuse me of, given that on October 13th, Rowan says verbatim, "Sometimes I want to fight you just so you be more angry when you fuck me." She
Oh my god, you just dug yourself such a hole, girl. Oh my god.
clarifies, saying, "I do like that though, even without the fighting." So at every opportunity, this girl is publicly saying, "Oh my god, look at all this horrible shit he did to me." And then she's texting me that she wants me to kidnap her, tie her up, and pound her in the woods. And if anyone is putting up any resistance to that, it's me. She once again lies about weird little things in the interview. Like she says that I was her second boyfriend.
He was
Yeah, how does she the thing is, right? She knows he has a just in case folder. She's not using the porn as revenge porn. No, he's literally just showing screenshots of their conversations where she looks insanely stupid. But she could have known exactly that this was gonna happen. Dude, what was her intention with doing this? Like, that he broke up with her? Is that why? Like, dude, how can you be so stupid?
I guess my second boyfriend.
And when I heard this, I was very confused because she told me that I was her third. In my opinion, she said this to make herself seem less sexually experienced than she really is, to make the case stronger that I was taking advantage of her. Now, in this next post, she writes, "Again, I'm not alleging anything illegal, just that he would hit and choke because he was a super gooner. Sort of normalize it in my head, but it's definitely not okay to do that." So for information on how I supposedly normalize this behavior, let's go back to the beginning of our relationship and see what our conversations about sex were like. On Wednesday, May 14th, after only hanging out with Rowan once, she texted me saying she's excited to hang out with me again, and she already knows my penis is massive, without me saying anything sexual to her at this point. So as you might suspect, we did have intercourse on our second date, and after this first sexual encounter, Rowan texts me saying, quote, "Rape thing is so hot. I never did that before. You should tie
There we go. She uses the word. That's crazy.
me up next time." My response to this is, "Consensual sex is good." And she says, "You know what I meant
That is crazy.
by that. I don't know what to call it." So from the very first interaction we have, she calls our sex rape for some reason, saying how hot it is, to which I clarify that it was consensual, and she says, "I know what you mean." And for the record, I never indulged
Can you imagine? Like, he's responding like an internet personality, right? Because he knows every single interaction he has with people like this could be used against him in the future. So he literally has to say, "No, we're having consensual sex, remember? Let everybody know, please."
in her fantasy to be tied up, just not something I was interested in any way. And we also never did anything in the woods, in case you're curious about that. To hammer this point home, let's go over some more texts where Rowan talks about sex. On Friday, May 16th, she texts me asking when I'm free and says that she needs my, quote, "big dick." And I say, "Don't say ah," and she says, "It is, and I need it." On May 18th, Rowan says she's not used to being with someone with as big of a dick as mine. She says that it hurt her, but she wants to do it again, and she won't be a pussy about it.
Okay, wait. I started tweaking when we had sex. I've never been with anyone who's big as you, and it hurt a little bit, not gonna lie. I found it to be, he says, "I found it to be a nice experience overall, fun and enjoyable." And she says, "Okay, we redo, but I'm not gonna be a pussy next time." Oh, she found it to be enjoyable too. She says right here, "Me too."
Some of her public claims about me are more desperate and weird than others. Like she complains that I didn't eat her out.
Like, he never once ate me out, but he would demand that I would constantly suck his dick. And, like, yeah.
But here is a text message of me directly telling her, "Look, I'm a selfish lover," and she says, "It's okay. I like sucking dick more than getting eaten out. I'm a real freak." Despite her acting like I am a like sexual degenerate, repeatedly doing sex acts she doesn't enjoy. Here she is saying, "You match my freak, kind of. Not you're too freaky or we've been too freaky." She says that I match her freak. Here in this next one, she says, "I'm getting on my knees as soon as I see you, by the way, freak mode." In this next one, I give a little bit of input. I tell her I'm thinking about her pussy. And she responds to me saying, "You gonna tear it up or what?" Now, my question for you in the audience would be, do people who are into slow, romantic, candlelit sex describe intercourse as their pussy getting torn up? I would say probably not. Here in this next
No, probably not, Tom. Probably not. Holy crap.
one, she says she's going to leave mass early on Sunday to go get some dick.
The thing is, right? This feels like this is what you get, you know? She went out to go. She went so personal. She went into intimate details between them two. I was so uncomfortable listening to that interview. And he's just like, "Oh, really, bitch? Well, take this." You know, like, God. Just completely one-ups her and makes her look like so stupid, dude.
And keep in mind, I don't want to reveal any of this information, okay? I don't want to be saying this.
No, I get it.
I don't want to be here right now, and I would never intend on sexually shaming an ex-partner. But she's gone out of her way to not only shame me, but also to lie in an effort
He got put in that situation, man.
To paint me as some gooner, freak, borderline rapist. So let's keep going. Here, Rowan makes a post saying that I'm a Patrick Bateman gooner because I flexed in the mirror after we had sex. But the strange part about this is that I have a text of her saying, quote, I keep thinking about how hot it was watching myself take your big dick in the mirror. Gooner as fuck.
Oh my god, it's literally her doing it! Dude, what is wrong with people?
Sorry. Reading through what
I really hope she learns from this experience. That's what I have to say.
she says about me publicly, it's like every accusation she makes towards me is actually some kind of confession to her own
Right.
behavior. On June 25th, she texts me wondering if she can give me head after getting her wisdom teeth taken out. She obviously wouldn't be able to do that because it causes your face to swell up like a blimp. And she responds with, no, I gotta do it as much as possible before. Here, Rowan's asking me, am I the tightest, most perfect girl you ever fucked? On July 2nd, she says, I miss that big dick so much, I'm under spells. On July 5th, I bring up us wearing condoms, and Rowan says, ew, no, and then tells me that she wants me to cream pie her, and that she's a real freak. After I say happy birthday, sweetie, for her 21st, she says that all she wants for her birthday is my big white in this next one, she texts me saying, I miss feeling like I'm going to break in half, not gonna lie. In this next one, she says, I like when you make me choke on it and call me a good girl. On July 23rd, she says, can I come over and suck on it Friday night?
It's so much better to 1.5 speed because he's like going through like bam, bam, bam.
Which I don't accept. I tell her that I'm busy. She then says, I have the big white cock addiction. Interestingly enough, in this next one, she's asking me if I can have sex with her while holding her in the air, essentially, and tells me that I should try to do it. Once again, a pretty bizarre thing to ask someone to do who allegedly has been abusing you for 3 months by now with overly rough sex. On July 21st, she starts off by texting me, I hate gooner men, and then not even 1 minute later, she says, I need that big white cock. On August 23rd, she says, whenever I wake up without my morning Tom face fuck, I am sad. On September 2nd, she expresses that she wished she lived closer to me, but if she did, it would be an issue because she would want to come suck my dick all the time. On September 17th, she sends me an Instagram reel of someone praying the rosary. I don't respond, and she follows up by saying, I miss that dick so much. Here in this next photo, she sends me a picture of her in lingerie with the caption, when it's rape time, and after she said that, all I did was respond with a photo of the movie Just Friends. On Thursday, September
Just friends.
25th at 7:30 a.m. Rowan says, I hope you come. I got something special for our rape times. I say, change that to consensual sexual encounters, and she says, I know.
Do not say rape times. Change that to consensual sexual encounters. I'm dying. Oh, dude. Stop.
She expands on this particular message and says, are you mad at me? I know it's consensual. So even
Yeah, because he's trying to like he can't be saying that. Maybe in the bedroom in private when you're not filming, but dude, of course he can't be like, yeah, let's do the R word.
as we're approaching over 4 months of being together, she's still telling me that our sex is consensual and that she likes it. Now that I've gone through a lot of her messages, I think it's pertinent.
Dude, I was so uncomfortable doing that interview because I was like, dude, this is so messed up. It's a lot of fun now to be able to see like how she actually was in the relationship, you know? It's, oh my god.
That we get into the month of October. This is the month that Rowan has publicly claimed that
So
there was one
funny.
specific incident that occurred during which she asked me to stop having sex with her and I did not. To be perfectly clear, this never happened. But just to have some fun, we can go through our text day by day in this month to see which day this horrific incident could have
Oh yes, please, let's get into more screenshots of your DMs, please.
possibly occurred. On October 2nd, she texts me saying, you are perfect. On October 3rd and 4th, we hung out. She asked me if I got home okay, and she says that I am her formal date in her heart. She then says that she hates when anyone comments on her body, even in a positive way, and I tell her that she should eat slop and go for a
Wait. I'm really trying to gain weight because I hate when people talk about my body, even in a nice way. It's just weird as fuck. Like, would you ever tell a fat person how fat they are? But it's okay for people to come up to you and be like, you're so skinny, so tiny. And then he's like, true! It's not worth the time or anything. That's what I've been saying. It's much more fun to eat slop and go for a walk and just go to the movies. It's beautiful even, like you. Aww.
walk and not worry about it, and that she is beautiful. On October 8th, she continues being sexual, complimenting my arm. She then resends me a meme that says, me if I do not have violent sex very soon. On October 8th, she also says, I miss my handsome husband. Here, I tell her I landed in Texas. She says, I miss sucking on it. She then texts me saying, you gotta start putting rape time in your reminders.
You gotta start putting our time in your reminders. Oh my god.
On October 9th, she says that she wants to hang out. I say I arrived. On October 10th, she says, let me know when you get back safe. I always have such a fun time with you. On October 14th, she says she wishes she was waking up to me in the morning. And she then expresses sadness that I'm not moving closer to the city where she's from to live near her. She then states that her life has improved since meeting me because previously she was partying and going out, and now she spends time with me. On October 15th, she says, I started my period. I wish I could come suck on it. And that evening, she says, I would kill myself if I had to talk to any other man but you. I say, that's true. I'm a nice guy. And she says, yeah, I'm the bad guy. On October 17th, we've already read this, but this is once again where she says, do you ever go back and watch our videos? And I say, yeah, I do sometimes actually. And she responds to me that she's thinking about that right now and says, quote, need that big white cock. In the mirror, you dead ass look like the Hulk compared to me. Now, one thing to note here is that at no point does she express that the videos were taken without her consent. Once again, I just want to have that hammered down here. On October 19th, she texts me saying she needs my milk right now. She then says I miss my perfect Jack boyfriend, and that night she sends me nudes. At 10 p.m., she sends me a photo of a guy with a clock in his hand and says, I need that dick. On October 21st, I send her a bicep photo. She responds saying, you look good, Tom. I can't wait to suck your dick. She says, I love you. You're a great boyfriend. She then says, you never officially asked me to be your girlfriend, to which I say that we did. On October 23rd, there's proof we hung out that day. She then says, text me when you get home safe, and I say, I made it. She also texted me saying, I love when my bed smells like your musk. On October 24th, she says, good night, you're the best boyfriend ever. October 25th, she sends me a photo of herself in a deer outfit and says, meow, I miss Tom's big white dick. That night, she says, I'm going to send you ass pics tomorrow. On October 26th, we've read this one before, but here she says, next time during our epic rape time, you can tie me up. I say, you mean consensual sex? And she follows it up by saying,
I love how he's always like, no, not the R word. You mean consensual, right? Just to make sure.
you know what I mean, Tom? Rough sex. Once again, these are really weird messages to
Oh
be
my
sending to
God.
someone that you now claim is sexually abusing you on a weekly basis. Now, that evening, the evening of October 26th, we can see that I hang out at Rowan's house and I sleep over. Then there's a text that shows that I'm leaving and mentioned that I took my friend to the hospital. On October 27th, she says that she hopes I'm doing well. She loves me so much. On October 30th, she says that we'll be married in 2 years. October 31st at 12:30 in the morning, she texts me and says, I had a nightmare. You broke up with me. Oh my God. She then says that I should cut a hole in my Batman suit for my dick. On October 31st in the afternoon, she says, oh, Tom, I yearn for the big white cock. On November 1st at 1:20 a.m., she says, up? No good night. I love you. Yeah, it's fucking over. I tell her that I'm falling asleep, and she says, you was
Wait.
madly in love with her and not me. I'm gonna kill myself. I tell her, good night. I'll see you tomorrow. And I then say, do not say anything like that ever again. Now, for a little more context on this specific message and what she's talking about here, during our entire relationship, she was extremely insecure about the fact that before I was with her, I had lived with a girl, and she wanted me to basically show more commitment in the relationship than I was willing to show, as far as like moving physically closer to her. And at a few points, she suggested that we move in together, and I said, you know, it's just too soon. We're not really ready for that. I don't think that makes sense after dating for just a few months to move in together. So that's the context of this. She would constantly bring up shit and compare herself to my ex or ex-sexual partners in general, but my ex-girlfriend. And I was like, don't say stuff like that. Like, I'm dating you right now. Stop worrying about this. So later on in the night, she texts me saying, mass is needed. I am such a sweet girl and have love in my heart for you. I know this. And this carries into the morning where she says, hi, my sweet love. The next day around noon, she says, sorry for being kind of bitchy. Let me know when you're on your way. I say that I've arrived. We take a photo in our Halloween outfits. And on November 2nd, I say that I made it home. And she says that she hopes that I have a good day. So we've now made it through the entire month of October. And there's no indication of any kind of abuse, any kind of mistreatment.
Okay, wait. So there was. So what is the stuff about that she posts? Is it just literally fabricated? Because we don't see anything near what she's referring to, right? Let me just go here for a second. I can't really read it very well, but let's see. There's some stuff where this is a little personal, but I broke up with my boyfriend, and I know I confided in you months ago about the sexual violence. I found out he has a pattern of this, and I'm considering going forward to law enforcement with this information. If you don't mind, could you write out a statement over text describing what I told you? Your statement will be 100% anonymous, if not perfectly. Okay. Okay, so wait, this is her with a friend then? Is that what that is? Is that her telling a friend, like, just repeat what I told you or something like that? Okay, so yeah, so she pasted here. This person shared with me one evening that during sexual transactions, transaction, the transaction, with Thomas, which is him, she would vocally exclaim that he was being too aggressive and that he was hurting her, and that he would disregard what she was saying and proceed to engage with the transaction. What? What a weird word to use. Even after she pleaded for him to stop because she was in pain, I also remember there was a mention of bleeding due to such intense aggression during such transactions. All right, well.
Incident that occurred during which
that's all
she asked me to
BS.
stop having sex with her, and I did not. To be perfectly clear, this never happened. But just to have some fun, we can go through our text day by day. In this, she texts me saying, "Mass is needed. I am such a sweet girl," and she says, "Sorry for being kind of bitchy. Let me know when you're on your way." And she says that she hopes something about how she loves me, how I'm hell of it, just trying to make you nut. I just don't respond. On December 12th, she sends me nudes again. Kind of a weird thing to send to someone who apparently has sexual black. I just don't respond. On December 12th, she sends me nudes again. Kind of a weird thing to send to someone who apparently has sexual blackmail on you again, is it not? On December 24th, she says that I'm a sweetie pie. She's grateful for me. She wants to make me nut again in her words, and she hopes we're married for a long time. On January 2nd, she sends me a naked photo of herself again, unprompted. And the morning of January 8th, Rowan texts me saying that before she comes to visit me, she needs to know that my dick is working. Less than 36 hours later, I broke up with her. So as you can see, the texts don't lie. Rowan was blatantly the more sexual one in the relationship. I've produced evidence of this nearly every single week, and she didn't produce any because there isn't any. But apart from the idea that I filmed her without her consent, and apart from the idea that I was a sexually abusive partner, she actually made some other claims as well. So another claim she made is that I encouraged her eating disorder.
Yeah, I told him very early on, like, hey, like, I've struggled with eating issues in the past, and I'm kind of still trying to gain some weight and make sure everything's okay. And he would tell me, oh, I love how skinny you are. I like how small you are. You know, like, I love how your body is, like, skinny, and, like, just say all this stuff that was incredibly hard to hear.
This is also a pretty serious claim, and if true, would undoubtedly make me a pretty fucked up guy. But it's just not true. Here, I directly discourage her eating disorder, even giving her advice on gaining weight, and I say,
Okay, wait, I need to gain weight because my doctor said I'm underweight again, and it kind of sucks. I just don't know how to go about it because I've been underweight my entire life. And he says, probably just eating a lot of food and feeling fuller than you want to, but that's the game. And she says, yeah, it sucks because I want to look like a Barbie, but it's not healthy to starve. Oh, okay. So you're sort of doing this to yourself then. You're literally admitting to wanting to look like a Barbie, but you know it's not healthy. And he says, true, it's not very... True, it's not. It's very bad for you. I hate that people don't use punctuation. If you eat well and exercise, you'll be toned anyway. It won't really matter if you put on some weight. You're very skinny right now, so you'll have very good progress right away if you work out. I missed that time. And she says, yeah, I know I should start lifting or whatever. I just like to run and stuff. Also, I'm sorry I started tweaking, blah, blah, blah.
Even giving her advice on gaining weight, and I say starving yourself is very bad for you. In this next screenshot, she says she used to be thick, but she self-nuked. I say you look the same more or less. I guess you lost some weight, but I think both are attractive. In this next one, she says that she feels skinny fat. I say I don't agree, and I say that working out is good. In this next one, she sends me an image that says nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, and I say that's a sickening image. Now, for those who don't know, this is like a...
Okay. Interesting.
It's like a pro-anorexia slogan, I guess you would call it. Here in this next screenshot, she asked me if I'd still like her if she gained weight, and I say yes. Here in this next one, I tell her explicitly she should eat more food and drink protein shakes to gain weight, and I also tell her that gaining weight...
It's like she's almost like pushing for those compliments, right? It's like she's pushing for other people to say that she's skinny. It makes her feel good when people tell her that she's skinny.
It would be healthy for her, as well as saying, I just want you to be healthy. Here in this next one, I tell her that I find her sexy how she is, but that it could be healthy for her to gain 5 to 10 pounds. So this is now 7 instances of me actively discouraging her eating disorder, despite her lying and saying that I was egging it on. Now, one of the other allegations that Rowan has levied towards me is that I'm into age play. She's not alleging that I did it with her, she's alleging that I did it with another girl named Ellie, who I briefly talked to 2 years ago. Now, there's no proof whatsoever that I did anything close to age play, but I did text her about these allegations, and she clearly states that I've never done age play.
Okay, text with Ellie. I mean, I don't really want to post it on my story. I don't feel like coming back to social media right now, but you have never done age play. You don't have to post yourself or whatever, it's fine. I'm sorry you're going through this whole thing. Would prefer if you would get people to, like, leave me the F out of it. We barely dated. I'm gonna try my best to minimize you even being talked about. Yeah, okay.
An ex-girlfriend of mine named Kai, who I dated for 3 years, also publicly posted on Twitter saying that I never abused her and that we never did anything related to age play. So this brings the total counter up to 5 people: Rowan, Katie, Ellie, Kai, and another random girl I banged a year ago named Maddie, who for some reason came out in
A random girl I banged a year ago.
midst of all of this to post pictures of herself in my house. And all of these people say that I never was into this fetish with them. The closest thing I've ever engaged in when it comes to age play is that sometimes girls do call me daddy during sex. It's a little embarrassing given that...
Okay, let's... That's not age play, okay? That's not exactly it. I'm sorry.
I am me. I accept that it's something people are going to see is a little bit strange. All I can really do at this point is accept that it's something that I've done. And I think that Rowan should accept it about herself too, given that she also called me daddy during sex and over text repeatedly. In the same vein as this accusation, Rowan stated, one more thing to add I thought was odd. Never really expressed any interest in Hello Kitty or that type of e-girl stuff, but I had like one Hello Kitty figure in my car. As a gift, Tom bought me Hello Kitty pajamas and a bunch of Hello Kitty stuff. So Rowan essentially wants you to believe that I'm pushing Hello Kitty onto her as if I have some kind of weird fascination with it.
She had it in her car, dude. She says she's never expressed wanting Hello Kitty stuff, but she has something in her car. Like you could have picked anything else to be there, but you had a Hello Kitty thing in your car. I mean, come on.
But the truth is that I am a 23-year-old man, and I don't give a fuck about Hello Kitty, okay? The only reason I bought her anything Hello Kitty themed at all, which was once, by the way, was because she frequently expressed interest in it. Here she is sending me a photo with a Hello Kitty figurine next to her printer.
Oh, girl.
Here she is sending me a photo with a hand-drawn and colored Hello Kitty image on her wall. Yeah, she made these herself. Here, in regards to her decorating my room, she says, no Hello Kitty.
Yeah, it's been such a laugh going through his reactions. It's so good.
The frowny face, and I say, correct. And something interesting about these texts is that she shows that she has a poster of the movie Lolita on her wall.
Yeah,
I wonder what the movie Lolita could possibly be about.
Yeah.
This film is about a middle-aged professor who is sexually attracted to adolescent girls he calls nymphs.
Oh, snap!
He rents a room in the house of a young widow to get closer to her 14-year-old daughter, Dolores Hayes Lowe, whom he calls Lolita. Obsessed with the girl, he eventually gains control over her after he takes her cross-country with him. Rowan even says that I should watch this movie, to which I reply that I feel like it's a movie adult men aren't supposed to see. In this next screenshot, Rowan asks me,
His responses couldn't be more perfect. And I know that he's like protecting himself every step of the way, right? Because he knows what it's like when things get leaked. So he is protecting himself, but still, dude, like, this looks so bad.
if I start dressing like a weird Hello Kitty e-girl, would you still fuck with me?
If I start dressing like a weirdo Hello Kitty e-girl, would you still? And he says no. He says no. I'm done. Dude.
And I replied,
He said I'd beg you to stop that, dude.
no, I don't want you to do that. I find it kind of repulsive. Here, Rowan is texting me
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm losing it.
upset that she has to take down all of the Hello Kitties from her dorm room. And this next one is probably the strangest reference to Hello Kitty out of all of them. Here, she's sending me a video that says, get you a man that takes you to the Hello Kitty hotel. And under it, she writes, imagine the rape here. And I say, I will not imagine. Now, with some of the more insane projections and lies out of the way, I'd like to get into some strange details that Rowan also decided to lie about for whatever reason she may have.
So
One thing that a lot of people pointed out that's strange is that
across town? Stop! Shut up! No!
Rowan had taken a photo of us matching on Tinder before we met in person.
Yeah, I took a picture of the match because I could kind of tell there was like something weird about this guy. Like I didn't know if he was famous or whatever. And also I did that to other people as well on Tinder.
Just like everybody you mess with to like gossip with, like girlfriends.
Yeah, like a couple of them. But yeah, he seemed like kind of weird. So I took pictures of our match.
She's also stated repeatedly that she's not a very online person multiple times throughout her testimony. But the wild thing about this is Rowan had sent me a message on my YouTube connected Instagram all the way back on February 21st of 2024, 15 months before matching me on Tinder, where she said, you have to do a video on this crazy.
She freaking lied the whole thing. Wow, guys. The whole time she was lying, she knew exactly who he was. Oh my God, dude.
Guy on Twitter who only has like 3,000 followers, but this man is a menace. I even confronted her about this when we first hung out because I found it very strange that she lied to my face when she first met me and said she didn't know who I was. I said, hey, I looked at our messages on Instagram and saw you DM me over a year ago. Rowan said, oops, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell you, but I watched one of your vids a while ago and thought you were cute, but I thought it would be awkward. I responded, that's okay. I was just surprised. She replied, I know I probably look crazy. I said, I mean, a little bit. It's okay. I just wish you told me. That's all. She answered, I didn't want to because I thought it would be weird. I'm sorry. Kind of lied about some stuff. I was like a niche internet micro celebrity on Twitter for a little bit too. I'm chronically online and didn't want to admit it, lol. I've gotten better about it.
Yo, the liar.
Once again, this is just another detail that it doesn't even make sense to publicly lie about, but it's just one of those things that makes me question her intentions throughout the entire relationship looking back. Publicly, she's also
It's insanely ridiculous to say the things she did in the interview while being the exact opposite every step of the way.
misrepresented the end of our relationship. In the interview, it stated that our breakup took place in December and that after that she realized how bad it was and she felt the need to contact Katie, who we're going to get into later. This is blatantly untrue. We broke up on January 10th of this year, 2026, and she began posting about me on January 14th, literally days later. She says the breakup was kind of mutual, an idea that is just bitterly ironic because that's not the case. Immediately after I told Rowan that I wanted to break up with her, she began threatening to post about me online and even began attempting to blackmail me into having sex with her again. I don't know what you want me to say to you. I just want to move on from our relationship and have you go be in your corner. You can meet other guys and it'll be fine. I'll go meet other girls.
Be in your corner. Maybe there was something to putting her in a corner in a beanbag while he was streaming for 2 days, right? Maybe there is something to it. Stay in your corner.
We'll just we'll break up.
No, you won't, because I'm gonna make it hard for you to ever be in a relationship.
Why?
Yo, she threatened him.
Because you don't deserve one.
Why?
Because you're a piece of shit.
Why?
Because our whole relationship, you act like everything is all about you the whole time.
Okay.
You don't give a fuck. You're just an awful guy, and I'm so sorry that your mom raised you. She seemed like a nice lady, but clearly she did something very wrong.
Okay, Rowan, I just want to move on and have my life, and you'll move on and have your life. And we can be in our own corners. We don't have to do damage to each other. We don't have to cause each other any more anguish, okay?
I just want to see you again, though. Like, do you think we'll ever be able to?
What? Dude, seek therapy! Please seek therapy! Are you kidding me? You literally just said he's an awful person! And you want to go meet him again? Dude, please seek help! You have problems! Holy crap!
Caesar?
After the way these conversations have gone today, I really don't think so.
Why?
Because you're like threatening to blackmail me.
I'm not. Well, if you don't come see me, then I will.
I stated blatantly that I did not.
If you don't come see me, I will. What the frick? Dude!
I have sex with her. I didn't want to be with her anymore. I just wanted out of the relationship. This is something she was completely unwilling to accept. And that's why after I stopped talking to her, she proceeded to call me over 30 times and texted me 80 times with no response.
Okay, we got some more, guys. Okay, let's see. If you don't want to talk or listen to me, just say that don't waste my time. You need to apologize. Also, I need $900 back from my flight to Maine because it was a waste of money, apparently. Goodbye, Tom. Good luck impressing the next BPT whore with your limp dick. I have screenshots of you talking about Ellie and how your dick pics are gonna be put all over the internet. You're literally such a retard, telling your friend from Dallas. My question is, why string me along so long and say you love me when you didn't? And he actually responds and says, it became clear to me at some point that this would be the response I would get if I were to break up with you, and I've been dreading that slowly. Considering you just told me you were talking to other guys over phone, and you just threatened to post about me publicly, realistically, I can't trust you anyway. You know, good logic there. Is that why you didn't want to break up with me? Because you were scared I would say some dumb shit. That's so pussy, bro. I see why you didn't want to I see why you didn't want me to look you up, because this is so sad. You're literally just as bad as people you make videos about, like fucking the Belle Delphine impersonator and getting your dick leaked is crazy, and then telling your girlfriend about it expecting sympathy. Have some self-awareness. You're really just an overgrown man-child in some ways. Oh, but can we see each other again? I'm sorry, I just added that. And also I need my money back because you should told me before the trip to break up with me. And also, yeah, okay. And you literally sit at home all day and have no hobbies except for gym and video games, have a high body count, but you think yours is high value? Man, it's crazy. I know whichever girl isn't fortunate enough to go into a relationship with you next will go through the same thing I did because you're actually so emotionless and mean. Also, you're like mad chopped in the face. I had to look past it. Okay. Dude, I'm done being a hater. You have a lawyer? You can't record me without consent. Posting text screenshots isn't illegal, dumbass. Good luck trying to sue me for posting text message conversations on a public website. You're literally so stupid, Tom. I should have gone to the police right away, but I have evidence. I told my roommate. After, as well as my friend Sophia. You can't even deny it because it's for real happened, and you said word for word, I like hurting you. I still remember because of how fucked it felt. I'm getting a no contact order. A no contact order! Who's contacting who? What do you mean? There's literally no response, but she wants a contact order, a no contact order. Dude, it will go on your record. You're a fucking narcissist. I also have a lawyer. I hated having to tell my mom you're generally a horrible human being. I never loved you. I just loved the idea of you. I'm going to the courthouse in whatever when I get there and ordering a temporary restraining order. Yeah, he's like all over her. She's got to take that restraining order. Due to past threats you have made against me, it might go to a real court, which both of us have to appear. Yo, she's hoping that she gets to a real court so that she can fuck him in the court bathroom. Dude, that is so pathetic. I'm sorry. That is so pathetic.
She is publicly claiming to be a victim of sexual abuse while begging me to fuck her again.
Like, you've done all this like weird shit. Like, I don't like it. Like, you're so weird. You treat me badly, especially during sex. And like over the phone, I just listed everything that he had done wrong, and he was like, "Well, you can leave me if you want." And I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you." That's basically what happened.
But there was no like specific like. Did you guys talk at all between breaking up and then?
Tom and I.
Yeah.
Yes, very good reminder, Azzy. Please, if someone tells you a story about how they're being like abused and whatever, remember that there is another side of the story. There is absolutely another side of the story. And no matter how long this friendship has been going and how much you trust this person, like, people tend to tell a whole different, their own very, very unique perspective of the events.
I don't believe so, because I blocked him.
Even this detail is also so insane. While it is true that once she started to lose her mind, I did stop talking to her, she continued speaking at me, alternating between begging me to forgive her for breaking up with her, saying she wanted to have sex with me again, and sending me psychotic text messages filled with lies that she came up with once I dumped her. Now with
Wait. I want some more of that tea, please.
saying she wanted to have sex with me again, and sending me psychotic text messages filled with lies that she came up with once I dumped her. Now
No! You recorded other girls too during sex. You recorded other girls during, like, the same thing where you don't ask, you just pull your phone out and record it. That's illegal, Tom. I hope you delete them because you really have some sick power thing, hitting and choking women, even leaving bruises. It's good to know I'm not the only one who felt extremely uncomfortable. Okay, girl.
with lies that she came up with once I dumped her. Now with Rowan dealt with, the next person I'd like to address is Clorox Katie. Katie's a girl I had a brief sexual relationship with 2 years ago, and she began posting about me on the same day as Rowan. Now back when we were hanging out, she flew all the way from California to Maine to hang out with me twice. In the interview, she describes her time with me as the worst experience of her life.
Let me fly back. And how did that go? How long did you stay?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
And she also took to the forum to make some posts about me. Yes, Tom is extremely harsh during sex. I've been down the kink roads in my life, and how he acts is actually just evil and almost sadistic. Not even kinked up, just actually a Patrick Bateman type gooner. When asked how things between us ended, here's what she had to say. I just truly thought he was a cringe who definitely was going to beat me later if I stayed around. We only had a 2-month fling, but even my insane ass was scared of how he acted, and he was also just stupid. I hated conversation with him. He was just extremely weird to me and also evil as
He's stupid. I hated conversation with him. He's just so stupid.
fuck during sex. Naturally, people asked her why she hadn't reported me to the police, and her response was, I thought about the police and looked into it, but again, it being across my own state lines and in Maine, it would have had to been filed there, and I lived on the opposite side of the country, so it just didn't seem feasible. These claims are once again so absurd to me that the best way to dispel them is to just look through our messages together. In these two DMs, you see that
Thank you so much, Tom. This is great stuff. Let's go. Taking off, bouncing up and down, excited. I'm so ready. It's so over, but we're so back. Just landed. I didn't die on the plane.
Katie comes to visit me for the first time on
There's just a million storms in the US. The turbulence was actually ridiculous. It felt like a fucking drop tower. We literally were bobbing up and down in my air.
January 20th and leaves on January 23rd. She comes to visit me, she says she's excited, she then goes home, and after leaving my house the first time, she immediately texted me saying, I had so much fun, Tom, you can kidnap me whenever. I feel so
Oh my god, all these girls want him to kidnap her.
alone in my bed. She then says that she has to come back. Now, days after coming the first time, she sends me nudes. Once again, this is kind of a weird thing to send to somebody that you're claiming is recording sex with you without your consent. Why would you send this person nudes? She then sends me nudes a second time, says she needs it, says so starved, so deprived, and she says that she misses me so much. I say, let's hang out in March. She says I'm down, but waiting until March will be so hard. On February 1st, Katie says that she misses me. On February 2nd, she slides up on my story and says she is counting down the days until she can see me again. She then says that she needs to see me ASAP, and she misses all the things about me. On February 4th, she says she wishes that she woke up cuddling me. On February 8th, she says she wants to have sex with me again. Once again, this is after the first time we hung out. February 18th, she says she's going to swallow me, and she then sends me naked photos of herself willingly. Keep in mind, once again, she's accusing me of recording sex with her without her consent, and then she keeps sending me naked photos of herself. She even sent me a video, by the way. She says, I need you right meow. I need you ASAP. February 22nd and February 24th, we have I miss you and are you home yet? February 28th, she slides up on my story and says, I'm gonna suck you so good. She then says, I need to see you now more than ever. Lots of hugs and hot sex. On March 2nd, she says, I like you lots, and I reciprocate. She says she can't wait to see me again. She then says that she's excited to see me that coming Saturday. In the next screenshot, I say, your pussy's gonna be so sore. And Katie responds with, good thing we had to wait a while, because then
Good thing we had to wait a while because then I could take a beating. get off the internet, girl. Get off
and
the
I can
internet.
take a beating. She then says, I'm ready for you to throw me around. Now, when we were discussing how many days she would want
Oh my god. If a woman is super sexually interested in me at some point, remind me not to chase the psycho. Dude, it's I don't blame him for not knowing what he's getting. He's a freak too, right? He's a freak too, so he doesn't see the alarm bells everywhere when this happens. And it's not necessarily an alarm bell when you talk like that. It's just, holy crap. Whew. I mean, someone can be insanely, psycho about you. But I don't know, man. I don't know what you're supposed to do. This is how you know someone gives good D? When they hate you but still want right beats? Oh, she was begging for it even after he was like, no. She was like, you're a terrible person, but can we see each other, please? Can I still have some of that sex?
stay. She says, as long as you want, and that we'll have so much sex and party so hard. And she then once again expresses how excited she is. On March 7th, she sends me a barrage of unsolicited sexual photos, including her with BDSM leather on her butt. On March 8th, she says all she can think about is me, and she can't wait for my dick to be down her throat. And on March 10th at 7 in the morning, which is 4 a.m. her time, she says that she is so excited to see me that she cannot sleep. Now, with the Instagram messages out of the way, we can move on to the text messages. So on March 10th, this is the second visit, right? Prior to getting there, she says that she is starving for me. Now, March 15th, this is when she leaves. She says I still have her toothbrush, but that I have to let her come back. Now, keep in mind, Katie, in her own words, said that this second time visiting me was the worst experience of her entire life.
How long did you stay?
Horrible. That was the worst experience of my life, I think.
The worst experience of my life, but keep my blue toothbrush, all right? Because I'll be back for more.
Basically describes being physically abused in the interview. She even says that while we were having sex, she would ask me to stop doing something, and I wouldn't. But that did not happen. You may also recall her stating that she ended things with me because I was such an insufferable person to be around. She claims that after the second trip, she began to realize she was a victim.
Yeah.
You still have DMs from a chick? Are they good? Are they good, Pete? You want to share?
And that's kind of like when things really started piecing together to me that I was like, wait, I think I am a victim right now. Like something's not right here.
In her words,
I think I am a victim right now. Okay.
Why she stopped talking to me. She says that she was scared of me. She said she was scared that I would beat her. Well, on March 20th, which is after the second visit, she texted me saying, Tom, I really like spending time with you, but I'm kind of worried about if you actually like me or just using me. Lol. I'm just BPDing, and so I'm tweaking and need reassurance. Are you just having fun with me or do we have something? To which I respond, well, I like you and I think you're cool and perhaps we even have something. However, I would make a bad boyfriend, so I don't really want to date anyone officially, I guess. Yeah. I was abundantly clear with my intentions with her. I did not want anything serious at that time. But apparently, this is the period she began to realize the true extent of my abuse, which is probably why after we had already hung out the second time, Katie tries to arrange a third meeting with me, saying she wishes that she was in Ohio, where I was at the time, and I did not reciprocate. After this proposition, she slid up on my Instagram story 12 times over the next 10 months.
Dude, she's like obsessively reacting to his stuff. She's like obsessively, he's not even answering at some point. He's just like, girl, move on.
And I did not slide up on her story once, not a single time. So ask yourself,
Oh
do these
my
texts sound
God.
like a girl texting a guy that she finds evil and sadistic, a guy that she was even debating going to the police about? Because to me, it seems crystal clear that she enjoyed our time together and even wanted to hang out a third time. You gotta keep in mind here, she flew across the entire North American continent twice, from California to Maine to see me. After the second time, she wanted me to be her boyfriend. I didn't want to, and she then repeatedly made efforts to contact me and hang out with me again. Now, to close off the video, I think I'd like to share some interesting texts that Rowan sent me about her dear friend Katie, as they're both accusing me of whatever it is they're even trying to say at this point. After she saw that I was following Katie on Instagram, she messaged me on December 8th saying, did you know Clorox Katie tried to fuck Jet Neptune? Those girls too make themselves easy targets with the hair and piercings because they have sexual trauma. She then says, they complain about sexual assault a lot because they will fuck anything that breathes.
Wait a minute. Wait.
I didn't want to, and she then repeatedly made efforts to contact me and hang out with me again. Now, to close off the video, I think I'd like to share some interesting texts that Rowan sent me about her dear friend Katie, as they're both
Okay, so listen. Rowan and Katie supposedly only met and became friends after Rowan's relationship with Tom ended, and she decided to reach out to Katie because, oh, we might have dated the same person and then they trauma bonded, right? That was their official story during the interview. But what is this now?
accusing me of whatever it is they're even trying to say. Repeatedly made efforts to contact me and hang out with me again. Now, to close off the video, I think I'd like to share some interesting texts that Rowan sent me about her dear friend Katie, as they're both accusing me of whatever it is they're even trying to say at this point. After she saw that I was following Katie on Instagram,
After she saw that I was swallowing Katie on Instagram. You mean like beating the allegations, or what? Oh, slurred. Okay, following. Okay.
They're even trying to say at this point. After she saw that I was following Katie on Instagram, she messaged
It really sounds like swallowing, but okay, following. Okay. So after she noticed he was following Katie. Okay. This was during their relationship, I'm guessing.
me on December 8th saying, "Did you know
Thank you, Azipoo. Thank you. Oh. So when she finds out, she goes like, "Did you know that Katie girl was trying to fuck that Chop Jet guy too, or some shit? Like, she's crazy, bro. I did not know that. So we gotta keep talking about. Do we gotta keep talking about it?" He's like, "Dude, this doesn't matter. She's in the past." And she's like, "No, future thinking is important." And then she's like, "Thinking of your dick."
Clorox Katie tried to fuck Jet Neptune? Those girls too make themselves easy targets with the hair and piercings
Those girls too make themselves easy targets with the hair and piercings because you can tell they have sexual trauma? I pray for them too? Dude, this is a 20-something-year-old girl saying that? That girls make themselves easy targets with their hair and piercings? Like they have sexual trauma? Holy shit, Mom, what the
because they have
what?
sexual trauma. She then says, they complain about sexual assault a lot because they will fuck anything
I think that's why they also complain about sexual assault a lot, because they put themselves in those situations due to their hypersexuality? And then she goes and does what she does with the interview. Okay.
that breathes. 1 month and 2 days later, I broke up with Rowan, and in the middle of her unhinged tirade about me, she told me that she would be messaging as many girls I had been with as possible to try and find whatever dirt she could so that she could run to the internet about it. Now, I've seen a lot of people say things to the effect of, you know, Tom's a hypocrite, he gooned. And you're right, I did goon, okay? I did not stop gooning. So maybe in the end, the hats are more relevant than ever. Anyway, that's about it. I've said everything I need to. Goodbye.
Dude, that was the best video I've ever seen. That is his best video yet, dude. He's been making videos since, what, 2016? That's his best video ever. Oh my god, that was great. Okay, well, after seeing his side of things, I feel stupid for spending so much time on those two idiots, man. Unbelievable. Ooh, you know what she has to say after that? You know what she had to say after that? This right here. Wait. No, yeah, she joined. Okay, this was her after Tom told his side. She's like, yeah, I overblew some shit. Like I said, I gave into it and told him I liked it. Should have been like 100 about it. But I will say I didn't lie about Brandon doing whippets. Katie brought it up too. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? And those texts were real, hence why he doxed me. And yeah, a response is coming at this point. It's all out there, so whatever, man. Ralph Mail is ugly as whoever he is. I don't know. She's extremely salty about this whole thing. I'm just impressed that people think those screenshots are fake, given she has admitted to it all. Yes, dude. She's like literally saying, "Oh, I guess I exaggerated a little bit." But the thing is, let me think. This is the girl that went to her roommate and tell her how violent her boyfriend was, right? And then she wanted her testimony to help with her case. Well, I can't show you because that would be doxing, but this roommate did come out with a tweet saying, "Yo, careful, my roommate is crazy." I can't show it because she literally doxes her roommate. So I'm not going to do that. But she's come out and said, yeah, don't listen to her. She's a little cuckoo. Anyway. Holy shit. Oh my god. Unbelievable. What a crazy story, dude. Anyway, that's going to be it for us too, guys. That's going to be it for us too. What a wild ride that was. I wish I could have condensed it to 2 hours. That would have been better, but all right. Whippets taking like whipped cream cans and getting high off the condensed air. Oh, I see. Okay. I came right at the end. Yo, it's a worthwhile episode to watch if you have 2 hours and a half at some point. It's really funny. Oh my gosh. Specifically the end where we watch his side. That's inappropriate to do. That was a fun time. That was probably the most fun we're gonna have this week because the other topics are probably gonna be less fun. Because, you know, we're doing true crime this week. We're probably gonna be discussing some assholes doing some really bad things. So yeah. Definitely check back tomorrow. We're gonna be doing another episode, then another one on Wednesday, then another one on Thursday, then another one on Friday. It's a whole week. A whole week of true crime. That's what I owe you guys for reaching the goal. So all week. So expect me here tomorrow. I believe same time. I believe same time. We'll see. Should be same time. Thank you guys again for making it. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you over on Discord or right here tomorrow. Thank you again, guys. Bye. Wait. Let me see if I have anyone that I want to raid. This is a little bit of a different time that we've streamed, so maybe there's someone else? Maybe... Oh, Rastov's live. Rastov. Let's go say hi to him. Or should we go say hi to... yeah, let's go say hi to Rastov. Alright, guys. Bye, everyone. Bye. 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 See you all tomorrow. Bye.